Ronnie, you go first, bro.
Okay. My name is Ronnie. There's nothing really to say.
Nigga,
Yeah.
what do you do, Ronnie?
What do you mean? What I do? I go to work. Oh yeah, we're here for our show, promoting our show. The Players Ball,
Player haters.
the
ball.
Player Haters
All
Ball.
the players
So
came
the
from
show's coming out. We're
far
still looking out for some dates.
There you
We're
go,
just
there
waiting
you
for
go.
dates, and yeah, you guys should come through once we get the dates and
It's gonna be
everything
one hell
rolling.
of a time, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice one.
My name is Henok. I'm also gonna be on the show.
Why you talking like deep voice and
Huh?
shit? Like, this
Yo,
motherfucker,
you
hear
say
that?
You say that every podcast. Do your
But-
thing, bro.
No.
Do your thing. Do your
No, I
Barry
want
White,
you
bro.
to talk, nigga. Tell you it's their
Huh?
turn.
I watch every week. You say
Yeah.
you Barry White. I know.
That's different. Barry White just want to end that shit. The ladies love it. I'm out there for all bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm a all bitches lover. They can take me in trips and shit. I'll be their fucking pool boy. But like, and what's like?
I'm pretty boy Floyd. Yeah, coziest motherfucker ever living.
The cooler, you gotta argue with Snoop about that, because Snoop says he's the coolest motherfucker out there.
Yeah, but you destroyed Snoop last week after you talked
Oh,
about.
Snoop.
You made me honestly. You made me start seeing him because I used to like respect him because I was like, oh, he's the one motherfucker that could do jump into every genre. But then when you talked about that reggae stuff, I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, you have a point. I was like, yeah, this is true. So
It's just like, I'm just like, today we gonna talk in some politics. Ronnie's gonna get some shit off his chest.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Few things to say.
That's what I'm saying, brother. Like, you got a few things to say that has been holding back. And now it's been fucking like me also holding back a couple things also. You got a couple baby mamas that he doesn't want to tell everybody about. So, you know what I mean? Through the Dr. Grapevine, I've heard a couple things, you know what I mean? Heard that you had 2 kids that you were paying money for.
I was like, oh, take care of my kids. I don't have kids.
That's the one thing, but like it so. Now, I wanted to start, you know, I mean, last week, how we ended last week, we were talking about, basically, we had up, Nova Nova was here, and we started discussing Drake and Pusha T. And this is when Drake hit the fire, you know what I mean? Dump. You know, and like to me, I know what Duppy is because, I mean, again, when you're Central American, West Indian, and South American, all that shit, it's just like, you know, it's a part of the language, right? So basically, I started laughing because I'm like, this is the same thing that Pusha said to motherfucker up. You don't come back with something that he knows you're gonna come back with. You know what I'm saying? The name of it is what it is. The accolade ain't proper. You dig what I'm talking about? So you gotta be smart about that. And then like Nova says, no, Drake is gonna keep on going because he goes from a singing brother to a fucking rapping brother. You know, and then we get the blackface. Ladies and gentlemen, what do y'all think about the blackface? We're going through this shit fast. You know what I mean? Because we got to talk some sports also, and then Ronnie got to get what he got to get off his motherfucking chest. So we got some time.
The whole thing's gonna be off my chest.
That's what I'm saying. So, so what do y'all think about the blackface though? Like, I mean, like, give me your rundown.
oh man, it was confusing. It was super confusing to me. That honestly, that was the first time. That's when I realized that people don't actually, like black people. I don't think we see Drake. We don't see him as completely black because even other people that are like biracial, like Obama. There's nobody that people really think of Drake as completely black, and I think that's where Pusha T tapped into. It's like I think we've all had that like reservation for like Drake because he always does some of this crony shit and this coony shit. I think some of us liked him, but some of us also had like that yeah, he does like the crony and coony shit. Like he does like you know
The cooning shit, nigga.
the coony.
He said some corny and some coony shit.
Yeah. So it's like I think because when that came out, because normally I think if you see a black person in blackface, I don't think we would have had that reaction if let's say a picture of Pusha T in blackface came out. I don't think we would have had that reaction. But because it's Drake, I think we've always known in the back of our head that he.
Because he's light.
Yeah.
look like.
I mean, yeah, but also his behavior. I think he's done certain things in the past, and also his silence on like issues, like the social issues in the states and all that stuff. I think all of that. I was listening to Pusha T describe how how he like strategized and where he was like, he was talking about how he decided to look at the character of this person, because he said what triggered him was like Drake mentioned his fiancée for no reason in the Doppy freestyle, and the line was, the line where he mentions the fiancée was a trash line. What was the line again? He was like, I'm gonna
Let
get
it bring
you.
on you.
Yeah, like Virginia Williams, and it was like, so it was a line that didn't make any sense. So Pusha was like, that was what triggered him. Because he was confused too. He was like, where is this coming from? What is the main point of this? So he started to look at the character of Drake. He's like, why is this man thinking that someone being engaged is a punishment or is a bad thing? So he started looking at that, and then I guess he had known for a while about the baby mama situation, and
She announced
so.
it.
Yeah, she talked
Like,
about it.
Buttons know about it. Joe Budden say, "Yo, I got pictures from the pool." With you know what I mean? It's not like, again, like if you're in the industry of entertainment, especially hip hop.
It's a small industry, man. They all know.
That's true.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
thing
true.
is, like, there's been articles about it.
Exactly.
There's been articles about it, right? So
Yeah.
it's like everybody already knew. It's just like when somebody puts it with real bars and the delivery, you're done. You're done. This guy even came with a T-shirt, man, with your face.
Nah, he
black
just-
face.
No, but
Like-
what's your feeling on blackface though? Like, what you're feeling on it?
What do you mean my feelings on it?
Meaning, like seeing him in blackface. Like, what was your thought on it?
I don't really have, like, to be honest, I don't really have any thoughts because, like, I don't really understand the whole background behind. I think it's
Okay,
like
okay.
it's like white comedians who used to wear black faces to make fun of black people. So it's like that's the only part that's kind of like, I guess, that's messed up about it. But like,
Yeah, they
Like,
used
you know,
to act as black
if
people.
he
Make
says
a
he used
character.
to
of
act,
it.
he used to do that, then it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
like this guy came with the punches and the cheap shots and everything, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna cheap shot somebody, then you can't be like, oh, you hit me way too many times below the belt. It's like, yo, you started this, then
So we're gonna reply.
right.
Exactly.
So that's the whole thing. I don't think Drake
Understood.
wants to
what-
reply
Exactly.
because he doesn't know how far this guy's going.
Exactly.
So it's like,
No.
plus he has an album to release too. Everybody wants to hear that song. but-
Understandable. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what about you?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I can't get into it, man.
No, I needed to get into it though. Like, I mean,
What do I think about it?
yeah, give
I-
me your point of view. Nigga.
I,
Like,
I knew he lost when I saw that picture. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, he can't come back.
Well-
And as soon as he addressed it in writing, I saw this meme. It was like Drake wrote about it, like explained the situation, and they're like, yo, am I tripping or does that not rhyme? like don't answer if it doesn't rhyme. He should have rapped about it.
Yeah.
First off, he lost. He lost as soon as he addressed it, talking about it, trying to explain himself.
Good. Well, that's that. Like, my thing about it is, fuck him, fuck the white society, fuck these fucking cocksuckers. Like, I mean, fuck them niggas that want to be Caucasian also, and fuck the Caucasian that fucking hate niggas, and fuck any other motherfuckers, because you know what blackface is. Blackface in the time is, and on a side note, blackface came about in the 1800s, right? At the same time when niggas were still being sold. And I'm gonna say niggas right now because normally I say brothers and sisters. When we're still being sold with cattle for bucks, $5, $10. You know what I'm saying? One of the first female feminist activists stand up to a black activist was sold for $100 with friggin' goats in the 1800s. I'm just putting it that way. Blackface itself came about then. The process of Jim Crow came from blackface. And we're still in that era. Most people don't understand. They think that it's faded. So that's why when you come from the element of it, like I'm a West Indian Central American. So I came from that era, which is like my aunt,
But at the
sisters.
same time,
We get what it is. And I'm saying there's no justification in putting that because you can't be stupid enough to go that. You still gotta acknowledge you're black. I don't give a fuck how pale that nigga is. I'm also fucking mixed. You don't see me fucking like. It don't matter what the situation is.
But the thing is, it's all good. We understand it's offensive,
But
we
that's
really
what I'm
understand
getting
like
at.
why did he
No,
thought of
but
putting that thing in his
exactly,
face?
but
You know,
because
like what was the purpose?
because-
you know, like out of all the stuff he could do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
because
I don't even understand why. What was he
he was
thinking?
trying to like.
trying to prove
I'm
a
assuming
point.
This is what was forced on him, and at the same time, he wanted like a lot of people want success so bad that they will sell their soul and do certain things that don't like. I mean, that later on they don't realize that will come back and bite them in the ass. On this battle, it came back and bite him in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So that was a part of it, but also you got to give props to like, Pusha T for being a very very clever MC. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of it. You know what I mean? And starting from the bottom, I guess now he's like he's still here. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of funny. I just look at certain things now. I just want to explain, like in the pieces about stabbing people. You know what I mean? This past weekend, like I shouldn't say the weekend, but this past day, you know what I mean, Wednesday, I'm out having wings with my peeps. My partner came in town, Manny. You know what I mean? And the homies. I'm dedicating to Boo and Dexter. You know what I mean? Like Dexter is my cousin. So I dedicated all my Wednesdays to eat wings and boo his ass when he's fucking karaoke. That's what I do best. You know what I'm saying? You know, some folks dedicate to hate niggas. That's just me. Like, I dedicate to boo his ass. You know what I mean? Like, if he's not there, then it's like, well, like, I can't even have wings. I'm so upset. You know what I mean? Like, so, while I'm there, you know what I mean, minding my own business, this one motherfucker that I know kept on dropping the N-bomb over and over and over around me. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo. Dropping an N-bomb is not cool with me like that. I told me I'd cool out because now I know Manny will fight him because Manny love like, oh, he called me a nigger. I'm gonna just say that's how it goes, right? You know, Manny's also a Drake type looking nigga too. I'm just gonna put that out there. But you know what I mean? But he's using the term like it's going out of style. So basically, you know what I mean? I had to grab a fork and stab him in his hand. Because that's what I do. You know what I mean? The old-fashioned way. Like, I mean, like, if you don't want to listen, you know what I mean? I'm not the type of guy to bring that bullshit around. You know what I mean? When I say stop, stop. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, when females say, hey, stop, I don't want to go there, you know what I mean? It's respected. So what I'm saying, like, yo, stop saying that shit around me. You know what I mean? Like, it's going out of style. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. You know, so I had to just, you know, again. But the waitress decided to grab the knife and the other stuff from there. Like, no, I just got to give him that. You know what? That fella never said that word around me for the rest of the night. You quell that up. Sometimes you have to let them understand, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a plaything when you're real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the, you know, that's just, I just wanted to kind of put, that's why the title is like that. But, Ronnie, I want you to get some shit off your chest. So speak to me, brother. What you got cooking?
I got nothing cooking, to be honest. I just want to listen, but like,
That same thing happened to you, man.
like it's a touchy subject, but I think like you had time to grab a fork.
Yeah.
But like for me, it was more like I was outside, just some white eye view, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably like 6:30 in the morning. I'm just, you know, kind of tired, minding my damn business, right? That's all you do in the morning. So I'm just chilling there, like I'm waiting at the bus stop. Oh, I don't want to be seen.
You don't want to be seen?
No, oh, okay. So like, I'm just chilling outside,
Yeah.
and then I see this this drunk guy coming, like freaking 6:30 in the morning. You know, like the bar's been done since 3 a.m. I don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. So he comes up, he talks to the girl. The girl's like, you know, she's not listening, and then one of her friend came, opened the door, got into the to the place where she worked at, I guess.
Yeah.
So he comes, he looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, what are you looking at? You came here and all the girls left." And I'm just like, buddy, like 6:30, right? So I'm not minding this business. So I'm just like, you know, just kind of like avoiding him. He's like, yo, they were here and then they left. I'm like, okay. So I was in the little booth. So I stepped out. So I go by the light. So I'm just chilling there. And then he's like, oh, that was rude, man. I was like, yo.
He followed you.
Yeah, he's followed me. So he's like, yo, that was rude, man. I'm just like, I'm not saying anything. He's like, yo, that's fucking rude. I'm like, bro, I don't want anything. Just leave me alone. It's fucking cold in the morning. Chill. You know, like, get away from me.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, man, that's a little bit ignorant. I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, this guy's already using the G's and the N's and the R's. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, where is he trying to get at? So I'm like, looking at him, and he's like, yeah, that's fucking ignorant, you nigger. And I'm just like, so I just looked at him. I'm like, 6:30 in the morning. He's fucking drunk. Probably slept outside.
Yeah.
Or we'll start drinking early. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I gotta get to work.
There you go.
My bus is coming in like 3 minutes. Right? So I start beating his ass. No. No, I just kind of looked at him. I was just like, well, I'm not gonna fight this guy at like 6:30. I know there's no forks around to fucking stab me. You know what I mean? So I just crossed the street, man. Matter of fact, you know, this white girl just came beside me and just helped me cross the road. Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
this guy just keep on
Yeah, man.
heckling you, eh?
Yeah.
But my question is like, but you answered it. You're going to work.
Right.
While this guy was out there just riding out.
Exactly. So the thing is, like, that kind of got me mad. Was like, this guy actually thought like saying nigger was gonna get me mad because I'm black. So I'm just like, well, at this point, who actually looks like a nigger?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just
but
like,
see,
I'm not gonna go out of my way.
and that's the other thing. Like I wanted to get to is like normalizing certain words.
Right.
Right. And what people don't understand is like, you know, like I was talking with my partner last night about it, and I'm like, how many people know that the word picnic was also a major racial word?
Nope.
And they try to normalize it. So how do you win in society when racist word is normalized and still continuously have a certain meaning to it? Because the term is to pick a nigger. That's what picnic is. When they used to steal little black babies and dangle it over Crocodile Mount and all that shit, it comes from Florida.
Yeah.
Like from the South, right? So that's why you will see like in Black Americans or like the East Coast folks from America will use the word cookout, right? They won't say like picnic. They'll use cookout. Most people don't understand the language pieces to it.
So what do you mean by picnic? What does?
To pick a nigger. So to go pow, pick a nigger like you're going to. That's what I'm saying. That's where it comes from. But they try to normalize it and rationalize it, right? Just the same thing as when you heard the term Uncle Tom.
Right.
What most people think of Uncle Tom is. You know? The term Uncle Tom, for instance, was a term that us like black people used because Uncle Tom was a stand-up guy. But the system used it and rearranged it. See, if we still knew that Uncle Tom was a stand-up word, like, yo, you're Uncle Tom, shit, you're the man. You know what I mean? You didn't rat on nobody. You stand up, what they would say. Sambo was the word for the person that would rat you out, like it's going to the style. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you see even like the Jay-Z's video,
Right.
there's certain things in that video can go back to them. And this is what I'm saying, where it comes back to the blackface. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the wording that's in society today is used like in that, and it continue to be used in that. So that's where when people's like, "Well, racism is gonna end," it's like, really now? Like, do you really think it's gonna end? Because the insult of words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like one of my main quests is, for instance, is to find these words and basically put them out there. You know what I mean? And put them in the public eyes.
What do you want the
because
public
I want
to do
people
with
to
that?
understand, because you know what I mean, like say for instance, a Ku Klux Klan member, for instance, right? He got his fucking sheet on. When he take that sheet off, does he stop being a Klan member? You don't know who he is,
Right.
but he's in society
Right.
with the words. You know, using the term nigga, they go, oh, it's fine now. We own it now. Yeah. Does it stop from what occurred and the meaning of how they express it?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the reality have to be put out in a public thought box.
But at the same time, I don't think like everybody's out there. I'm not a nigga word fighter, okay?
No, but
I
but
can't just
that's
be
what-
out there
but
just
but that's
whooping
what I'm
asses
saying.
in the name of nigga.
But
You know?
but nobody's
You know,
saying
but that's
that.
what
But
it
when
comes
you,
down to.
But when you know the understanding of it, because people don't understand.
Well,
there's-
like,
there's two meanings.
I
to
think
the
people
word.
understand. I think they know.
Like,
Cause like if
Go ahead.
I call you imbecile, you don't need to know
No.
what is the definition in dictionary.
but
You know it's an
but
insult.
But the imbecile, exactly. But the imbecile of it is different. Like again, nigger. The word nigger originated from the Moors. When the Moors came to
Okay.
to Spain and Portugal.
Right.
Right. When they took it, they brought that from East Africa.
Okay.
It meant king of king.
Okay.
What did they do with the word? When the Portuguese started slavery, they twisted the word back over and use it now to mean nothing. And now, within like the process that we're in, the Anglo-Europeans, they say, well, it means people are lazy.
Okay.
But when the guy was coming at you, you're just a conscious man enough not to withstand and start whooping ass. You understand what I mean?
Well, almost.
Now, if you go out there and you say, hey, you fucking Jew, da da da, then what do they say? There's a protection to that word.
Yeah. Well, if you call somebody nigga, people still think you're
But
racist.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, so but it have to be more so. Like, I'm not saying.
Oh,
go
you
out-
mean
I'm
you're
not
trying to
saying go out
change
and whoop
the
ass.
whole meaning? Mean like if
No,
somebody
I'm
call you
saying-
nigga,
I'm
you're
saying
like, yo,
we-
this
we-
guy
we-
thinks
we-
I'm a king.
We have to basically acknowledge that these words are still negative words.
I
Right.
think everyone.
You know what
But
I mean?
everybody
like,
do,
I mean,
though.
But I like no, not that's why people.
No, I
use
think
it
they
like
do.
It's going to the style. My son, and I'll tell you,
Well, except for the
my
black
son,
people.
my son have told
Sorry.
me straight up, like
Yeah.
in school, he's in grade 9. They're watching movies with the word nigger in it, and they're bleeping out the fuck you words.
Right.
Now, to a black child, what is more like dangerous? Fuck you or nigga? Like, I mean, like it's because you're trying to force acceptance of a word that's not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
If you get what I mean, I know my words is too big right there. You know what I mean? I just jump over your head.
Yeah, but what do you want? What do you
Well,
saying?
no,
What are you
I'm
proposing to
saying
do?
from like my perspective and what I'm at is like, I mean, first and foremost, bring that shit around me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna beat that ass like Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I'm a fighter. I ain't you.
Puff Daddy doesn't fight.
Puffy,
maybe
What
Suge Knight.
are you talking about? Puffy whoop
Puff,
ass.
Puff
and
used to
take no
fight.
name. Are you kidding
Puff
me?
used to
He-
get down.
He slapped.
Puffy whoop ass.
Puffy.
Like,
He
don't
say
slap
tap
shit.
that ass.
don't get fooled. That's what I'm saying.
Puffy
like,
used to
you
get
like, you're a
down.
true player, like,
You were there?
No, but if you watch the documentaries,
True
you
player
know.
for real, that's Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm getting at is like Sugar's just a natural like grizzly bear. That nigga, you mean? What past ain't no name. But what I'm saying is like when like people's like you know the whole movement that Edmonton was going on,
Make it awkward, yeah.
So why the fuck can I make it awkward? Like if the person you know
was
you
awkward.
realize that
I-
make it
I-
awkward by busting their ass.
I agree with what Ovid is saying in
that's-
terms of when he says that,
Bruises.
because I think I'm tempted to say that everyone knows it's bad, but that's not entirely true
It's
based
not.
on experience. A lot of these
Who
young
do you think
kids,
doesn't know it's bad?
a lot of these kids, they
want
think
me
that
to-
word. They don't even. I bet you a lot of young kids, a lot of like young white kids, suburban kids, even just non-black kids, they don't really know the history of the word. They just want to. I've met so many people in university. I don't even know why I'm calling them kids. Like people in university, and they're like they don't really know. They just want to be cool.
There's only,
Like they're
listen,
saying
listen.
around-
All I'm just saying, everybody knows the meaning.
Right.
Even you take a white kid from Twin Brooks, he's not gonna go in freaking Abbotsfield in a room full of black people, be like, oh nigga this, nigga that.
You think that? Eh?
That's
Well,
what you think.
but
That's
like,
what you think.
okay,
You'll be
if he-
surprised.
If he get his ass kicked, then he's gonna understand.
He's gonna learn, yeah, but like.
I don't know who you've been hanging out with, young Ronnie.
But like,
yeah,
but
I
like,
gotta watch
all-
you carefully.
But
you know?
all I'm just saying is just like people know the meaning. Yeah, he can go.
Some
He can
people, that's
go
right.
like let's say when it's like 60-40%
Let me-
white people, then
but
it'd be
let-
like,
but let me
oh,
ask you a
nigga,
question.
this,
Let
Oh
me
yeah,
nigga
yeah,
that.
they know.
Let me
But,
ask you a
but when
question.
it's like in the minority
Yeah.
base, like he can't. He's not gonna say
But
that.
let me ask you a question. Like, I mean, what do they know? What do you believe that nigga means, though?
For me,
Yeah.
I just feel like that's just a derogatory word. Like it's offensive. It just means like that's what he used to call slaves.
Okay.
So like for that's what it means in this society.
What does it mean? What does it? They say it means in the dictionary.
I don't know. I don't look for niggas in the dictionary.
You should. You should. Take the time. Take the time to read it. Like look it up. Wikipedia. Look at all that stuff. We have all this power in our hands. We gotta utilize that. You know what I mean? Like Tassie was like because like I know you always be trying to hide behind like I'm light skinned. Nah, nigga. Like we need your input on this because your brother.
Yeah.
That nigga may be like,
But you know-
he got some afro like a motherfucker. I remember this. We used to rigor.
Yo, which dictionary you wanna
Go to the modern the modern English dictionary.
You know these days. You mean the Webster?
Yes, the Webster. But there's old Webster, new Webster. You know what I mean? Webster was also a midget. Like at a comedy show. Yeah, like I mean, like from the '80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Used as insulting and term for a black person. Used as insulting. Yeah. Contemptuous term of a member of any dark skin. So it doesn't say nigga means lazy man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's many different like meaning, like where there's like, yo, why niggas mean lazy as shit. Like we're all the way you think that was like the premise of like getting it through the door.
Right.
Everybody's a nigga now. Yeah, like you mean like that's the whole point.
But like.
Yeah, a lot of people say it just to be offensive.
But you know.
Exactly.
You know, but the thing
that's
is.
what I'm saying.
But the thing is, the biggest problem here, it's not really the word nigga. It's the how did people start using that? How did it make it popular? Like these rap songs, man. I don't know how many
But
times.
it's not. But the rap song.
Man,
the
listen.
rappers don't
Let me
pay their
finish.
own-
Let me
No,
finish.
go ahead. Sorry.
These rap songs,
Okay.
you can hear a lot of niggas in the rap songs, but
Yeah.
like, you can only hear maybe 5 or 6 times when they actually said Jews, right?
Exactly.
So like those those it must be like
But
it's more allowed to just say nigga. So as a rapper, if you're trying to let's say if you're a rapper and you're like
Yeah.
you're trying to be conscious or you care about the future or if you don't care, that it's up to you. So like it's not like I don't think
No,
the label came in and told you like yo there's at least 5 niggas you need to say in this album. Like you know they don't come up to them. So
But they do.
they come up to them with how many niggas they supposed to say in the track.
They do in the sense that as soon as you say like as soon as you say
Yeah, you
like,
get it. You
like
get,
Jew, they hit you with anti-Semitic,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Now, read between the line.
It's a hate crime to deny the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
read,
like-
read between the
Okay,
line.
well, it's
And
normal.
who-
It's
no.
normal.
It's not.
But they have the money to rule the world. What do you want? What do you want
Like,
them?
it's not.
Okay, it's like you come and live
not
in my
normal.
house. You trying to insult me. You can just leave.
Like,
You know what I mean?
but that's
You
what I'm
can
saying.
just leave.
But this
So
is not.
what?
But this is not their house.
Well, it is their house
That
because
is
they're paying
true.
for it.
What do you mean? Like, I mean, how's it their house?
The TV,
I think he's saying
the
that-
radio.
I think he's saying that
It's like
You're
you
talking
can't.
about the entertainment system. You're talking about.
Yeah, I'm saying-
But entertainment system at the end of the day.
Right.
It's like. It's
All
it's
I'm
on
just
both
saying. All
sides
I'm
of
just
things.
saying. If you want to entertain,
Yeah.
if you want to entertain in this certain area, you cannot insult the people that own that area. And
Okay.
if you do,
So
you get
basically
punished
you're-
by it.
So you become a slave to their system.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what you do.
But this is what I'm saying. But how does that? Like I mean, like we're talking about
Okay.
the N bomb
Okay,
right
yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm just giving the example of it. Like what's good for the goose is not good for the what's the whole right?
Gander.
Gander.
You know what I mean? Like because it's supposed to be quote unquote one thing or the next, right?
Yeah.
So due to the fact that because these guys are paying for it, you're gonna be, you know, like, well, let's just go out and do it.
No,
so
all
in
I'm just
return, you're
saying.
saying a lot of these brothers don't have understanding.
All I'm just saying is that you cannot, as an artist or as
Yeah.
a rapper, you start saying like nigga this, nigga that, and then you get mad when people say it, when other people say
No.
it. Like you know, so and you as a black person,
Yeah.
you gotta go and figure it out. Okay, why is all these people are saying this? Then you're like, oh, it's these rappers. Then you're like,
No,
if-
but that's what I'm saying. It's not the rappers
okay,
alone.
okay. Then
Like it's
Who
not
who
like,
made it? I'm just saying who. Let's just go
who
back.
makes it
I
popular?
said it.
It's-
Who made it popular? You
It's
said
not
the
the
rapper.
rappers
So
that
who
made it
does?
popular.
Who?
The slave masters was in it. Same thing with
Okay,
fucking
but
Tom and Dick
how
down
many?
the street.
Did you tell me how many times do they?
Like-
Do we know that the label actually goes and tell them to say those words?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
We don't,
Who
but-
do you think it comes?
but
Whose mouth is it coming off
The
from?
the mouth is one thing, but
If it's coming
but let
out
me
from
ask you
your
a question,
mouth.
though. Do you understand what proxy war is?
What is proxy war?
A proxy war is when you use a proxy war is going on in Syria right now.
Okay.
America is on one side, Russia is on the other side, using Syria to fight a battle.
Okay.
Right? A proxy war goes down with, like, not because the MCs are saying this.
But
Right?
okay,
Because
you
you know
said
what?
the MC is getting used to say the N word.
But that's what
Is that what you're trying to
but
tell
what
me?
what I'm getting at is like,
Yeah.
it's a proxy war.
But you know
in
what?
the
At
sense
the
that-
same time,
because
there's not a lot
they
of
could've
songs
got
these
fined.
days with the N word. Not as many as they used to. Have
you
you
don't-
realized
you
that
don't, you
yet?
don't think so?
No, not as much.
I guess like you're not listening. What song
Are you
do
guys
listen
serious? How many songs? How many songs
What
you know
song
use
are
a
you
lot of
listening
word
to as
N word
heavy?
Like in hip hop.
compared to the 90s to the 2000s?
Like compare gangster rap still use that shit royally. The N word is now more used like.
But like
with the increase of popular
all I'm
music.
just trying to say is just that word was just made popular, okay? By the rap.
That's
if
where
you're
I'm going
rap,
at,
if you're and I the only people, certain people to it's not like black people are out there reading mad books and reading niggas all over them. No, the writers are not doing that. The poets are not doing that. It's the
No,
guys on the beach.
You don't think like you don't
You think-
you don't think the poets and the comedians
but who are
said it.
who are more
Comedians
famous
do,
though?
man, comedians
What's
do.
wrong, like
Who are more famous?
comedians, poets. It all
There's
depends on
maybe
what
like
level,
there's
buddy.
maybe
It all
listen.
depends on what
There's
level,
maybe
though.
like five
But
famous comedians. But how
whose
many
media-
rappers?
But whose media
Every
is it
rapper.
going through?
What?
Whose media is it going through?
What do you mean the media? Or you mean the owner of
Who's-
the media?
Yeah, who's pushing this? Who's pushing the narrative?
But
Because
listen,
this-
if
like,
you're gonna
I
be
don't know-
stupid enough
no,
to
but-
be
but-
naked in the
but
street,
let me-
and
but
if
let
I
me
film
ask
you, I
you-
put you on YouTube,
But let me ask
don't
you a
blame
question.
me.
No, but let me ask you a question.
You're like, don't
Like,
blame
I mean,
me.
I like in the 90s. In the 90s, like in the 90s when you had gangster rap, conscious rap, and fucking this is what we call whatever now
Right.
is going on. You know what happened? Because look, there's like I could go.
Hey,
I remember
if
as a
you
kid,
go-
I could go and
if
buy
you
all
go-
3 albums,
Okay.
and every one of them was a different process. But again, the system itself pushed
Okay,
conscious
You-
rap
you-
on the ground.
okay. Let me tell you.
Right?
You think yourself, somebody like you met 2 weeks ago. I don't know. You just go and you shoot somebody, and then you put on the track. I just shot a body about a week ago.
That's
and
stupid.
then you gonna say I'm gonna blame the media for pushing that
No,
stuff on me.
That's stupid. Though.
Exactly.
Like,
Why do you use the N word? It's the same thing. It's
But
stupid.
stupidity is one thing.
Yeah, what would
right?
you call him a nigga?
like, I mean,
It's still
the-
stupidity.
The terminology.
Now you're mad because
No,
white
but-
people are
but the-
saying it.
But the terminology of what it is. Because again, it's the same thing as in,
But
like,
they did not use
remember,
one.
remember when
they
remember
did not
when-
use it.
but
They did not
remember
use
when-
it to
remember
empower.
when NWA used the term "fuck the police"?
Right. That was great. That was awesome.
What did the police? What did the owners?
Yeah.
What did they say? What did they do?
That's what they're supposed to do. It's
So,
their system.
So let me ask you a
That's what they're
question.
supposed to do.
I
You
understand-
cannot come and shit in my house and me be like, "Oh man, good job." No, if you shit in my house,
I get what you're saying with their
you
system.
know, I cannot come. You listen. I cannot come here and start insulting you, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Ronnie, stay on the podcast."
No. Like I'll say stay on the podcast, nigga, because I don't give a fuck about it.
If I come, I'll break this. You gonna tell me Ronnie, stay on the
Then you gotta
podcast?
buy a new table, baby. But you can
But
stay on
exactly,
the podcast.
yeah.
You
No,
can
if
stay
I
on the-
come, I
because-
slap the shit out of you. You're not gonna-
I'm a tolerant man. My cousin told me I got
But
more
they're
patience
the owner
than
of the
a
media.
motherfucker.
They're not tolerant, especially these
No,
days. They're not.
like when it comes
Really not.
when it comes to certain pieces, and that's what I'm saying. But what benefit them, again, is what they push. What they push
Yeah.
because you're only seeing it from what's coming out of the artist's mouth, and don't understand. Like when an artist, like if they were to say, you know, and they can still do it, say, you know what, if you use it, we're gonna fine you.
Mm-hmm.
And now that fine goes back to the black community to help bill it. But obviously that would never happen. Why? Because again, it have to be a status quo. And this status quo came to play 1967. 1967 is like, I mean, where all the brothers are like to boogie with white broads. You know, I don't know if you know what happened in Detroit, 1967.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it be people innocent people got killed, the riots and all that shit, due to the fact again, like the youngsters that got killed like yourself, they were hanging out with some white girls, bang bang bang, they got.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The system itself had to formulate certain ways to suppress the incoming folks.
Okay.
Did you know that before the 1967 process,
Yeah.
Negroes bought was the fastest buying people
Okay.
in North America.
Can I say something?
Well, the propaganda that comes in play will say, well,
Okay.
like
Can I
deal
say
with
something?
Kevin. No, yeah, go ahead.
This is people gotta understand. Okay. This is not like as it make it seem. This is the war going. Okay. You cannot.
go.
You cannot. What do you want me to do? You want me to feel bad for them? It's
No.
a war going outside.
I don't
It's
want.
so,
I,
it's like
but I don't
so
want.
it's
I,
so
I,
like
want,
it's
I, want,
like
I want you to basically know where your ammunition
no.
stands.
I know where you stand. I understand. I understand you, but like you cannot. The thing is, you cannot be a victim.
No,
You know what I mean?
You
So
can't
like
be a
if
victim,
if
but-
if we know people are using the N word and it's bad, then you trying to shut them down.
exactly.
But if you cannot, then if you cannot
Like,
shut
I
them
mean-
down, you spread knowledge. That's the only thing you can do.
Knowledge is one thing,
But,
and-
like, if-
but even and sorry for cutting you off. It's the same thing as how they use sexuality. You know what I'm saying? But this is the reason why I'm getting
Okay.
that.
Hold on.
I'm
Ronnie.
getting at that.
You call the artist stupid though, for saying it.
What do you mean? Okay.
What would you do though?
No.
Think about this.
Okay.
This is what the record labels do. This is what anyone in power does with the money.
Okay.
You just buy the movement.
Okay.
So if you have a counterculture, if you have someone speaking against you,
Okay.
you just turn it into a subculture by just buying it. You just throw money at it.
Okay.
So they just throw money at these young people, the
Okay.
ones they want to push.
Okay.
Exactly.
But are they stupid though?
But-
Because
but
if
who-
you're young,
what do
if
you-
you're young, you're 16, 17, and you're saying the stuff they like, and they offer you $1 million, you're gonna sign and keep saying that stuff.
But
and,
like-
and,
If you
and
don't
pay
want
for
to-
your
if
but
you
like
don't
it's
understand yourself.
listen, it's ignorance. Okay.
Yeah.
It's ignorance and then people, you know what happened with ignorance? You know it's ignorant, and then you start getting knowledge. You know now you get the knowledge that it's ignorant, but then you get wiser. But that's when the problem comes, because these rappers they'll get wiser, then they'll be like, but I still want to get paid. That's now like listen, if there's a lot of people who took bullets for the black movement, right? So like they literally took a bullet. So if you don't want to take the bullet, then go and just do what the ignorant people do, and no problem. And it's for me, like if somebody comes and start getting mad at me, like if I see a bunch of kids like say nigger, like I'll come and stop them, but I'll be like, yo, this is blah blah blah, you know. But like if I see a grown man like you like start saying nigga this,
But
I'm just like
let me
this
ask
guy
you-
chose
But let me ask
not
you
to
simple-
fight.
Let me ask you a simple question. If you see a fight going on,
Yeah,
like say you're sitting on a train
yeah,
and there's like a fight going on between
okay,
two persons.
right.
I don't do
Do
shit.
you stop it?
No.
Or do you just like let them
It
fight?
depends. It depends by reasonable force. You know, it's like if let's say if you see two girls fighting, two little girls, 2 5-year-old fighting,
Yeah.
you'll be crazy for walking by. You'll be like, yo, stop it. But if you see two people like look like 50 Cent fighting, what the hell would I be doing there? I'll be like, guys, stop it. That's all. Stop it. I'll call the cops. Stop it. But if I see two little, I was like, yo, guys, stop it. Go over there. What happened? What's going on? So it's just by reasonable force.
But the idea is like, I mean, like it's like you know, see me on the other hand, if I see anybody fighting around me and it's not justified, no matter what it is, you're not fighting
Yeah.
around me.
I'm not just.
Like I mean, like
but
it's
the
like-
thing is,
like,
I'm not
because that's
justifying
how
it.
it's stand. That's what made Duggan Duggan.
Yeah.
That's why we come
but
together
that's different
all the
'cause you
time.
guys
But
know
like-
each other.
No,
though.
but I'm not talking about fighting like because we know each other. I'm talking about
Yeah.
anywhere I go. I go to Toronto, I see people going on like a bunch of idiots. I make fun of them. I'm like, yo, like why you like there's girls here? Why you fighting?
Yeah.
You're like, I mean, are you here for man or you
Right.
here for woman? And you see how fast you're like, oh, sorry, man. You have to use your understanding to dismantle the negativity because
But
if you
that's-
don't
but
use
that's- but-
if you don't use the understanding to dismantle negativity grow. What I'm getting at is it's the same thing when you see because like for instance, I had to have the talk with my son.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My son is 14 going on 15.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like I had to people look at him and he's like, "Oh, he's such a he's 18, 19 like he's a grown man." I'm like, "No, he's a fucking child."
Right.
Right? But I had to have the conversation with him and let him know when he come to me and he said, "Dad, you know what I mean? Like there's movies that's dropping N-bomb continuously in class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I already know the narrative that's taking place already.
Right.
I had to let them know. I said, next time they do that, just walk out of the class. You're not going to stand for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, it's how we educate ours. Right? Because again, as we said, there's a war going on.
Yeah, but you should all.
There's an intellectual war going on one side.
Yeah, but
there's a
why would you?
physicality war going
Why
on.
would you
and
hide
there's
from it
also
too,
money.
though?
No, but
and the
what I'm
thing
getting
is,
at is,
Like, I don't like. One thing I don't like is
but
when you just
it's
ignore
not
stuff.
about
Like,
running away
but
from
like,
it and hiding from it. It's about basically saying, hey, this you're not gonna play something that's gonna disturb the other folks. Why are you playing it to disturb me? Because you see, when it comes to the youths, it's the conscious of them. Because once they start bleeding this,
I've also a question
Yeah,
for
but
you.
then that bleeds into other
you
things.
you even said your kid bring it up. That's the only the messed up part too. Cause like when your kid brought it up to you, right? Obviously your kid already knew it's a bad word, so he came and then he just like that.
Because I started putting that in there to his head early.
Okay,
Let
then
him know,
do you
know
check
himself.
every song? Do you check his phone?
No,
too?
I don't check. I don't check his own because that's like I give him enough tool
Okay.
to understand.
To
what
understand
it is. But
that.
I also let him know certain things. Like I mean, we are living in what's up and down and the illusion of what freedom is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And people chase money. Like it's like I asked my partner yesterday. I said, "Who's stronger, God or the man that don't believe in God?" People don't people don't they're baffled. But honestly, who do you think is stronger? You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? It's all about the perception and the belief of things and how it goes. But you have to basically, because now you see the world is what it is. They're like, oh, the world's bad, this and that. It's based on the fact of what occurred.
You brought up something interesting though, because that's the only time I ever feel like intervening ever in anything is when it's a kid involved. If it's adults, I can't get involved in your life. But when it's influencing a kid, that's the only time I'm
There
ever
you go.
like,
I wanna-
I don't think you should. Like, for example, like I don't feel insulted ever or like attacked. I'll be like, okay, that's fine. You can say that. But if you say in front of a kid, then I have to tell the kid,
Exactly.
people are gonna say this stuff.
But I like
it's
to put
bad,
a pause on
but it doesn't hurt me.
The thing
then,
is, like, it comes back. Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to bring up a point from what you're saying about. Okay, I feel like black artists using that word. I don't think that should be an excuse for anybody to be like, oh, because they use it, I can use it. Because if you understand history, for example, you
I
cannot
get
go.
that.
Women call each other the B word.
Right.
We know some people's moms call, even they use the word.
Bitch.
Will you go to your mom and call her the B word? Like, we all have black moms here. Like,
I would, Mom,
your
but I
mom's
still
right.
wouldn't.
But exactly. Nobody can do that. You would never do that. No matter how old you are, you would die that day. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
the black cat of you and
there's
the
like
Lord.
there's things, there's context to things. So you cannot be like, oh, because I see black people using the word, so we as black people we're gonna instead of attacking the enemy that's trying to put us down, we start attacking our own young kids for using the word. There's a reason those kids use those words. There's a reason why, as much as people might not like it, there's a reason why. Everything people do in life is for a reason.
There's a wave.
There's a reason they use those words, whether they know it or not. Some of it is subconscious, some of it is conscious.
Okay, I have a question for
But-
you though.
Well,
I have a
you-
question.
okay.
This is actually a question I have for people when they say don't use words. Does the definition exist in the world? Like, is there such a thing as what they're saying?
What do you mean?
Like the word bitch.
Bitch.
Is there someone who's that?
There is.
So,
There's a definition of the
so
word
there's
bitch.
someone that you can call that.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
dog-
but okay, that is a good point.
A dog is the definition of it.
I had to do that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just
No,
what it
but
is.
don't use it to address somebody. That's
But-
the thing.
but they-
Address, you know,
Okay,
like
let
put
me-
down
let
someone.
me-
No,
let me-
but-
let me
But
answer you. Let me answer
what
you.
people are saying
Yeah.
is
Let me
I'm
answer
not
you.
that definition,
Okay,
but
Yeah.
okay.
there is
First
a
of all,
definition.
you gotta understand, like, these rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from the 90s,
Yeah,
these rappers are like moms who are doing ridiculous things. They were doing their moms were crackheads. Their moms
Yeah.
were like,
yeah.
sorry for the word, bitches. The mom were prostitutes. The mom would do any. They've
What
seen that.
rappers?
They've seen the rappers from.
What rappers? Like,
No,
You
all
know
of
like
them.
Tupac's mom.
Yeah.
Tupac mom.
She was a panther.
She was a cocaine.
But
She was cocaine addict.
But she was
also
a-
an activist.
No,
She
no,
was
no,
an
no.
activist.
Listen,
She was
listen.
also a writer.
Let
She
me
was
let me
also-
finish. Let me finish.
go ahead.
Okay. I'm not. I did not make these stories. You guys
No,
are attacking me as if I make.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
trying
no.
to understand.
I'm
I'm
not
just trying to
attacking.
make you understand
Yeah.
what was going on from like
You're
why
giving-
these people
Yeah,
call
you're
their
giving your
moms
perspective.
bitches, or like could call any their moms that could be like their sisters, anybody. Like
But that's not where it come from, bro.
listen. So from the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
the 80s, the crack era, people were just using drugs. The black community was just destroyed. It was probably like the worst thing till now. Like it was probably like the worst thing. So
Yeah.
and then these kids they be given the voice. Like these kids know what nigga means. You think Tupac didn't know what nigga means?
He knows, but
He knows.
Yeah,
Tupac is probably one of the greatest rappers. The most. He was woke before people even woke up.
yeah.
Before even people went to sleep, Tupac was woke. You
True.
know? That's how crazy he was. But with still in his head, he still did that. For him, it was more like he was just giving like the story to the street, right? It was more like the point. It was just like this is what's going on in the street. This is like as raw as it gets. Like this is what's going on.
That
Like when
think-
there was also movement because like you could not and plus you could not be like a white man or like anybody that could come in the neighborhood and start just saying the N-word like now. So like people
Yeah.
would just be like, oh no, I'm gonna shoot you or something. But like when Tupac would start rapping about ignorant stuff, which was still what was going on in this area in
his community.
In his community. So
Yeah.
he was rapping about that. It was just like, yeah, this is going on, blah blah blah. Like that's how they called each other in that. Right?
Yeah.
So they just started pushing that N-word. They just started pushing it. Like he started getting famous. The music started getting good. But then now that we followed like 2000 or like people trying to imitate Tupac or people trying to imitate Biggie, then it's just like, yeah, like since we say it all the time, then we start saying it. But at one point, these rappers found out, they were like, wait, like subconsciously, like we're telling these kids to start saying that. Like when Tupac is, let's say if Tupac turned like 30 or something, it's probably like, yo, like it probably does something in their head. Even Kendrick Lamar,
that's
he,
exactly
you know,
what
he
happened
did
to-
something in his head. You know, he was just like, whoa.
That's what happened
like,
to J. Cole, bro.
Yeah, you know, you'd be like, what would I have been saying, right? And then that's when the things start changing,
Yeah.
right?
But
Most of the sometimes people don't even say with no meaning. They just say it because
let me
like,
ask you a question, though.
Okay.
Like, man, and you think Bob Marley was dropping the N-bomb rapidly back then too as an artist?
no, it wasn't.
Exactly.
Okay.
And why?
Because he used better words. You would be
No. Tap into what he's saying. Tap into what he's asking.
First of all,
You're
okay, listen.
See?
I don't. Okay,
I
listen.
grew up in the
When
90s,
you
bro.
ask me about Bob Marley and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
I don't know the right answer, but because I was
Understand.
not there.
No,
But all I
exactly.
can tell you is like maybe in this area in Jamaica, people did not say that. There was no crack era during that time. There was no.
And
Was
that's-
there any
and-
crack era in
and
Jamaica?
And that's where you're wrong.
Was it?
Where do you think Colombia dumped off the fucking cocaine off the coast?
Was it crack?
Continuously.
Was it crack? Were they like?
There's crack, cocaine, there's slavery.
Okay,
Like, I mean, like
okay.
there-
Well, like
there's
all I'm just
continuous
saying,
political
all I'm
war.
just saying, you can swerve that, but like all I'm
Nah.
just talking about, I'm just talking about rap.
No,
This is rap
but
pushing the
reggae is
N
a
word.
father of rap.
But like reggae has nothing to do about this
It
conversation.
does. Reggae have heavy like going like you haven't
I
listened
know
to
if
40,
it's
right?
like the origin of the music, yeah, but I'm talking
It's
about the
father
lyrics.
of his like his son. But what I'm getting, yeah, I
And
understand
the
where
lyrics
you're
and the
going.
community.
I get where you're going with it,
Right.
But what you're saying, like, but the crack epidemic,
Right.
which is Reaganomics.
Okay.
I'm a child of Reaganomics.
Okay.
Reaganomics destroyed my country more like than any of my side.
But your
more than
country's not
anything
getting
else.
pushed on the radio.
What
We're
I'm
talking
getting-
about
no,
rappers.
It is getting pushed on the radio because if you look at reggae music, what do you think? What do you see the players in reggae music have? Bleached skin, that's mental slavery,
Yeah.
and tight pants.
Right.
I can go there, but we're gonna go there a different time. What I'm getting at is it's the same narrative
Okay.
that's now coming from that into hip hop, and people
Right.
use the term that hey, these artists are saying like this, that, and they're the one reason why they're using nigga. Like half of it goes like and this is from Ice Cube word and Snoop. We have used the term nigger to liberate our people.
Well,
It's so popular.
did I
But
see any
this-
liberation
but this-
happening
but
here?
This is what
Do we see any liberation?
This is what they say. This is what they say.
They gotta think
no,
their
you
head
gotta
too, huh?
remember, the first place in hip hop, and because you were going back,
And
the first place in hip hop in the 80s and 90s, the
Right.
first place to use a term
Right.
was the West Coast.
Okay.
The East Coast didn't use it. The East
Okay.
Coast started following
Okay.
later on. Like, I mean, that's why even when Too Short word, bitch, that's my favorite. Like, I mean, and people listen to it, but it's how it's implied, because at the end of the day, that word still means a negative to the old heads.
Right.
That word still mean a negative to a lot of the young heads.
Right.
Like, and people that don't understand the custom of it
Right.
create an issue with it, and then you can't basically, like, again, it's not based on like the artist, because the artists are going to follow what the system plays. Like, look at the Trade of Truth, for instance. Trade of Truth is the man in Houston. You got Trade A, all that.
Right.
But yes, so the radio station in Houston
banned
won't
him.
play
Yeah.
his music, and that radio station banned his music.
Okay.
Right? What I'm getting at is
What do you-
that's the power that be.
But like
They
what
can
do you-
like,
what do
they
you-
control the
what
narrative.
What do you want us to do?
This is like the solution pieces that we haven't got to the solution. We're just
let's
talking.
get to the solution.
Well, the solution is, nigga, you gotta whoop some ass. One way or
Okay,
the other.
okay.
Whether you whoop
Okay,
ass in the
but
streets,
like,
or you whoop
that's-
ass
but that's
at
what it
work,
comes down
or
to.
or you whoop ass. You just, if we as a whole let people know that we're not gonna stand on this word,
Okay.
because this is what the word is.
Right.
You're not gonna slide it in there,
Okay.
and basically saying, well, now that it's a part of the day-to-day living, it's cool. So Tom over there can say, hey, what up, my nigga? Like, give me, like, it's like,
No.
exactly.
No, exactly.
Right?
Well,
This is what that's my piece. That's where I start off originally. Like,
Okay.
we have to stand our ground on certain things. We
Okay.
cannot let them bamboozle us and fool us and play it like a proxy war, if you get what I mean. But we can't hide it from the kids. We gotta let the kids know, as what Enoch was saying.
but like if you're gonna be like trying to cancel everything, but
No,
then,
no, it's
then
not- it's not-
no, but
it's
like
not
but like
canceling.
let's make everybody conscious then, because like the only people who obviously did not get the memo with not using it is being rappers and entertainers, and they're on our ears every day.
Not on my ears
Right.
every day. They're
Yeah,
in
but-
my speakers.
but there's
not on
one-
But
my
like
ears.
even Richard Pryor was like, I don't want to say that word anymore.
Because he went to Africa.
You went to Africa and discovered that.
Exactly.
You see,
But Richard Pryor was still doing the yayo, ain't he?
He stopped doing mud.
So why did he light himself in fire? This was after he light himself in fire and ran like a ball?
you know what? It's like
No, I'm just saying.
yeah, well, like all I'm just saying, like some people, this conscious thing about the N word has not started now.
No.
It's been like for
Exactly.
years.
It's
so
been
like
it's a battle.
right now that the communities, the Black American community is doing better than it did in the 70s.
Okay,
Wow,
let me,
wow.
okay, let me
There's
ask this.
supposed to be more like more
But,
people,
but
like,
it's not.
more conscious
Okay,
people.
okay.
And if it's not, then let's just fight again.
All right, let me ask this: does the word still mean what it originally meant? You think? Yes
Yeah.
or no? Yeah, and you
It
think
does.
Yes or no?
That's what I'm saying with the clan. Like,
And
did the clan members all fade
Ronnie,
off
what do
and
you think?
disappear?
But like the word means different things. Just
So you
like
think it means
just
different
just like you said before, it meant kings. Then but
King
then
of king,
but
king
kings
of
of
king.
king of kings. But now this era, the era that we're living right now, it used to mean
But let me ask you-
slaves.
Now,
but
let me
now,
ask you
but now there's a
how
new
about this
era
now,
for
then?
the word.
But how
Now-
many?
now maybe there's a new era for the word.
How many people would use like the term nigger if they knew that it meant king of king?
So,
but
but
then,
this is my
then bring
question.
it back
This
to
is-
king of
But this is
kings.
my question.
But that's what I'm
So are
saying.
you trying to change the definition back?
No,
Or
I'm
are you
not.
trying
No,
to-
I'm not trying to change
Or
the
you trying
definition
to-
back. I want the point to be like in the where people gotta understand. If you use the word,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. We acknowledge and we know what that word is. So do not. You have a choice.
Do you think people don't know what it is at the offensive stage, or
Exactly.
or at the original?
I
stage?
think at the offensive stage, meaning like in the modern offensive stage, as in like
They don't know.
pre-slavery, they don't know what it is. You see a lot of these like Lee was here not too long ago, and he's like, Lee is from a small town by Lloyd Minster.
Minster.
But let me say this: you gotta make up your
What does
mind.
that have to do
Either
with
this.
No, I'm just explaining. You said out there, a small town,
Right.
there's kids using the word like it's going out of style. And he's like, yo, they ain't never seen a black person out there.
Right.
But they're using it like it's going out of style. This is what I'm saying. It catch fire in a sense,
Yeah.
right? Just the same way that it's used
But either
in
you're
such
trying-
term. No, but go ahead, say
But
what you say.
Are you trying to educate people about what it means? It's offensive.
A
and
bit of
stop
both.
saying it.
Yeah, a bit of both. Give them a choice. Don't just slide it in. You didn't
But
have
what
a
I'm saying
choice
is
to,
just
for
like-
picnic. You just took picnic and ran
But
with
this is
it.
what I'm saying. If you're gonna educate people, it's offensive. That you can't do that at the same time as change the definition again. You can't. if
No.
You're trying to say stop saying that because it's
No, like I mean, like it's just like you educate them and let them choose. You can never take things away. It's like a gun owner. No matter how much friggin' millions of fucking shooting
And that's
that's
another,
taking place,
That's
it
another
is
point
not.
too. Is
It's not like they don't like. Well, I'm gonna just say give up my pistola.
but then there's another thing too. Is like a lot of people say because it's offensive.
Yeah.
But then you can either not react to it and it's like, well, I don't care. It doesn't mean that anymore. Or you can.
You can
React and
react
you
to
can't
it,
say it,
but
but then
but
you
the
can't do both, though.
but the difference is no, you can't go back and forth all day.
That's what
The base on the situation is like my ancestors live in me. No matter how much I try to fucking I'm here in 2018 and go on, without my ancestors, my ass wouldn't be here. So for me to acknowledge and respect them, may they rest in peace. You know what I mean? Because the energy that they passed on to us. We always talk about energy and shit like that. How the fuck do you think your energy is here? It's because of your ancestors. So if you disrespect your ancestors, then what stand do you stand on? You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Kanye is like, slavery was
a
you know, I feel like slavery was a choice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like Puffy's much more wealthier in modern currency than Kanye, but Puff would never say that shit. Jay would never say it. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I look at that piece.
Like those people are like
No,
the
but
pillar of
but
this
but
whole
but
thing.
but
They're
I'm
the
look.
reason why
But I look.
we're having this
But no,
conversation.
like they're not the reason why.
I want to say something.
Like, I mean,
I want to
like,
say
those
Guys are
something.
pillars, man.
Wait.
No,
I want
they're
to say something.
in
I
that
want
field.
to say something. I feel like, okay, if you've studied the history of the United States and the history of that word in general, I don't think rap or any of the rappers are the
Exactly.
reason why anybody that's not white will say it. Honestly, even if rappers were not,
You don't think?
like,
you don't think
I don't-
rappers are a reason why
I
people say it?
like. I feel like if rappers,
Nah.
even if rappers,
We're
like,
not gonna do
if
that.
we had an alternate
We're not gonna
future
do that.
where if rappers were not using that word, I promise you will still
But
have
let's-
you will still
but-
have
but
you
know
still have
what?
people
Let's
using
just-
that word.
No, let's
that are not black.
Let's just
It's not-
watch.
You still have some,
no,
but-
listen, because like I'm telling you,
Bro, have you been
the
to a
rap
Drake concert?
I'm telling you the rap. I'm telling you rap.
To where?
Rap
A
made
Drake
it.
concert.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a lot
Drake
of
drops it.
there's a lot of
see a
words
look.
that are bad for black people, but they don't use. There's a lot of words, man. There's
Uh,
like monkey. There's like porch monkey. I don't know. There's a lot of them. But
they,
like
they still use coon. Hey coon,
Who?
darky.
who? I never heard that.
What? That's what I'm saying.
I never heard
but,
that.
But,
But,
let me
but
ask you.
I've heard niggas.
How long have you been in North
many
America
times.
though?
I've been here for almost 20 years, 18 years.
And where have you been?
I've been to
Because like when I came to Canada, for
Yeah.
instance, as a youngster, the first place that somebody called me a nigger was in little school. I didn't know what it was.
right.
Because back home, out of many is one people. We don't acknowledge that shit.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
You know what I mean? We vibe like, yo, look, my culture. Yeah, I'm proud of what I am. But it was North America that sent that blow.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So it took me a period of time to truly start understanding the game that's played.
Right.
And because I'm not born here, I see the game easier. You know, like because I'm coming from a different place where we didn't stand on that. You know what I mean? And then the more I start looking into the process, I understand the hard time and what it is and the puppeteering of the government, but then it goes a bit deeper. So that's what I'm saying with the solution is like it's about how we salute it and how we bring it forward. We can't hide it, obviously, from our youth.
My thing.
And that's
But-
that's another question
My
too,
thing
though.
is
But-
when
we need to
somebody
put a
when
lock
somebody
on it.
comes. Listen, you know when these rappers, these Chicago rappers, like 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
where it was like rapping with a gun was like the thing to do, or like rapping about killing people,
Yeah.
was like the thing to do. And then more of them start saying that just
But,
because they.
but
they-
let
they're
me
trying
ask you a
to-
question
okay.
though. How do you educate people
Well, like-
that didn't stand off on educating?
Okay, but
And
like,
how did they not
all
get that education
all I'm
in that
just saying,
sense?
all I'm just saying is like, you're right. Like I was telling you before, this is a war. Okay,
Yeah.
if obviously if the kids are not educated and they're out there like saying a bunch of stupid things,
Exactly.
some of them will get wiser, and then those are the wise one, the one that that's when the problem comes. That because usually when something bad happens, then
Mm-hmm.
usually the wiser you get, you let it stop, you make it stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when the wiser ones they get wiser and they're like, okay, this is not the right thing, they're the one who's supposed to come back and say like, this is not.
Yeah,
this
put
is not
back
the
into
right
the
thing.
community.
Like, people who have like
The cycle.
Yeah, people like
the cycle of the community.
right,
But-
exactly.
but-
People like Kanye West,
but that's
like
what-
Jay Z.
but that's what I'm
like,
saying.
They're the people who's supposed to come and say that.
But that's what I'm getting at though.
Right.
The trap purpose of the proxy war is like, then,
Okay.
the system stated,
Right.
and this system is stated again. This was from the 70s. We do not want smart niggas in the ghetto because if
Okay.
you're and,
makes sense.
and let me break it out, because if you're smart, you will become bring opposition to our rule. You understand? So we're gonna take that smart one out,
right.
and we're gonna give him a little something,
Right.
and the brothers and sisters in the ghetto is gonna either idolize him and then hate him at the same time.
But that's a
Right,
great plan.
because this is the
'Cause it's been
game.
working.
Exactly, this is the game that I've been playing.
magnificent.
So now I have you here because you're like it's magnificent in what way?
Because they're
It
winning.
works. It works.
It
No,
works.
it works in what
If
field?
you exactly,
The
so,
only-
so let's
no.
say now that you
But
know,
let
now
me
that you
continue.
know that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but let me
What
continue.
are you supposed to
But
do?
let me again. You
What are you
think?
supposed to
But
do?
let me ask you a question. You think our ancestors say, well, like slavery is winning. My ass is just gonna
No,
fucking,
exactly, right?
exactly.
We can't, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
You
Then
get up.
let's go back to
and
fact.
do you all know who Madison Washington is?
I don't know.
But
Exactly.
But-
Look at Madison Washington and then speak on that. That's where I'm getting at with also Kanye. There's like, do you know the 100-year war? Do you know that Mexico, which is now part of Texas, was the
Yeah,
first
well, like-
country in the Western Hemisphere with a black leader, 2 black leaders.
Okay.
Like what I'm getting at is we don't like not when they're going like, well, they're winning. No, they're not winning. They win only when you believe that they're winning.
Then they're
You
winning.
have the God genetics.
Okay.
How can you lose when you have the God genetics? When you breed, your dominant genes do what? Dominates. That's the term of it.
Okay.
So how can you lose when you have the God genetics? Ask yourself that. The only
Because
way
right
that it
now-
is because when the mind become weak,
Okay.
that's when you lose.
Well, like that's that.
Yeah, but
well,
I
like
think he's saying
they
people
understand
become
that that's what they
apathetic.
did.
People get-
No, I understand where people are coming at, but people comes at it based on the fact where it's like running a race. And Usain Bolt would pull up and like, well, you know what? That guy's pretty fast. I'm not gonna run anymore.
Who are you trying to blame for that now?
No, I'm saying.
No, who you blame for that?
We have to look at ourselves. We have
Exactly.
to look
Now
at
we're going back
no,
to
we have to
ourselves,
look at
right?
society because
Okay.
it's a setup.
At the end of the day, who do you
why
look at?
why does society think that you like look at me? I'm a high yellow nigga.
Okay.
Me and you walk outside, you may be the nicest motherfucker on earth, but you know what? Who you think is gonna get in bigger trouble? You or me?
Probably you.
Are you kidding me? I'm fucking a high yellow nigga. Society say, hey, that light skinned guy's closer to us. We're gonna come at you because you're the dark brother. You
Okay.
want to know why? Why you think it's like that? You know what I mean? I'm going at.
Actually,
I'm going
for
at
me-
it. Why you think a white man and a
like-
light
but
skinned
that's-
black
that's
man,
just-
you will get it?
But that's
like you'll
just the
get
way.
it.
That's just the way they
No,
see
it's
their
not.
life.
That's not the way that they see their life. This is something that was created again in the
Created-
1600s.
Okay, but like
right,
but-
the
but
illusion
like,
of propaganda
but that's,
continue.
but that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Like, what do you like? There's no. You can bring me like all the acts and the laws.
but what I'm saying
but like
is
all
like,
I'm just saying, it's gotta stop, right?
Exactly.
Do we all agree that
So
it has
now,
to stop?
yeah, but
okay, then
what
let's start
but
with
what,
that.
what I'm getting at is like we can't. Sorry, people, we can't give you all the information at the moment.
But
That's
there's-
the whole point. We
Hey.
can conversate about it, but I'm not going to tell you. Well, let's go and go get Whitey. Like, no, we
Okay.
have to plan smart and execute
Exactly.
smart.
That's
right.
all we
But at the
gotta
same
do.
time, we can't be in the illusion where it's like, well, it's over there.
Nobody,
winning, like, they're
nobody.
winning the cup.
But nobody's
I
like
think- I
that.
think
I'm
what
not
he's
like
saying
that.
is
I'm not saying
Like,
that.
he's just
Like
gonna come at
I
from a-
started from the beginning. I'm even going to more crazy majors. I'm trying to tell you to to tell the rappers to stop saying the N-word. I'm trying to tell you to.
But this
to,
is-
like, listen to
Yeah.
tell the rappers to be more conscious.
But this is what I'm saying.
This is where if the N-word was coming from something conscious,
You know the
then
fu-
people would be like,
you
"Hey,
know the
I
funny
remember
thing
if
is,
when if I called it when the you think if I called if I
you
start
know,
calling especially like oh this is like
but
a nigga
but-
smart
but you-
Then smart
but you-
a nigga never
but you
been
know
in a
the-
rap song like
you know the
this nigga smart, da, da, da.
you know the funny thing is, like, and we're talking about this a couple days ago, and I'm like, for instance, in Canada, right?
Right.
So you know, like, say you're running across the street, and like the lights is green, the red, right? And you're running across the street, and a cop is rolling by.
Right.
Does that issue it, like, and stop you? You get a ticket if
Right.
you stop, or you can just dash, one or the other, right?
Right.
Now, you know, if you're pissing, like my main man Renzel. Renzel was pissing in the neighborhood, like you mean,
Right.
like stumbling out of a bar. You know, you go from a hot place to cold, you automatically got to take a leak.
Right.
So he's pissing, the man roll upon him. He's like, yeah, let me finish up. It's a $500 fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He said, "Let me finish up."
At that point, you gotta finish up.
right. So,
I'm in the middle of it.
so you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like what I'm getting at is now. You see, every process have a fine to it.
Okay.
Now, my motto is simple. You know what I mean? Again, this is it's a two-way process. You have people that say, "Hey, Tash is trying to break into his own house." They call the cops and say, "I seen a black brother, like, I mean,
Right.
jumping through some window, da da da." Like, I mean, like the people that's calling the cops for no reason nowadays. Like, it's going out of style.
Right.
Right. Now, fines should start being issued.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you use the fucking N-bomb, like, I mean, like it's going out of style,
Yeah.
fine should be like listed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're in the rapping world and you're dropping it like stupidly, fine should be issued
Okay.
until it's curbed. You understand what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So because a lot of people don't understand that it's going to, like, it's like we live in a society where it's like money, baby, currency. You know, as what my boy would say, numbers, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but in my world, I don't care for a nickel or a dime. I don't give a shit. I live in principle.
We're talking about the same thing.
I just want to say something though. Like, I agree with what you're saying. I
How
see
do
you.
you
I see.
agree? You
I
disagree with me.
no, no. I don't disagree with you. Like, I see what you're saying. I see your sentiment.
Yeah.
But my one thing is that I feel like as black people, we should have. This is one thing that always. It just makes me feel some type of way. We don't keep this same energy. Like, when it's time for us to attack our own, our energy is always on high. But then, say a brown person comes tomorrow and uses that word. What's the fucking name of this guy? Nab from Toronto. He uses that word. He's not black. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're not black, don't use the word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't keep the same energy. But
Nab,
I'm not saying anybody is right. Like, even the rappers using it, I'm not saying they're right. But, like, it's like,
See,
we would rather attack our own.
Yeah.
But then once another person uses it, we don't have that same energy.
But
That's my problem.
I feel
That's
like,
my big
I
my
feel like
problem
Pretty
with
Boy
it.
Floyd, because he's a rapper, is going on Nav already. Toronto
No,
already
no.
took an L
No.
twice. They took an L twice
I-
this year.
I'm not
the
gonna-
Raptors and Drake, homie. Don't go at
Yo,
it.
but
Don't
like,
go at
no,
Nav.
you make a great point.
It's like we always go at our own people. Like, everybody
make-
has that high energy when it's someone that looks like us. But once it's another person, we forget about. Like, I didn't even know Eminem used that word before.
He did it
It wasn't
once.
until like a
got-
month ago that I realized. I was like, what?
You got Wild
Niggas go on TV and they're like, oh, my favorite rapper is. I'm like, yo, him using that, and he used it on a black woman. I'm like, fuck how good you can rap. Fuck you.
Exactly.
You're out. You know. But like, we will always go at our own. Other people will just be
But
like,
Eminem
oh
is
yeah,
also
whatever.
against
That's
you.
my problem.
You see that ignorance? That's the same ignorance that those rappers are saying. It's the
I
same
know.
mentality. That's you understand
is.
why you're mad.
And
It's
who-
the same mentality.
But let me ask you.
but the
is.
But
N-word,
let me,
they just let
but
it.
let me
let
ask
it
you a
slide.
question though.
Right.
Who created this mentality? Where does this mentality come from?
Yo, listen. Okay.
No, I
if-
want you to kind of
okay,
where did
I
this
don't-
structure come from that created? Because if you're gonna go one place, we
Okay.
gotta go back. We gotta
Okay,
go.
but
more.
like me, I don't
Like-
it doesn't matter how far I go. It's like me, and when I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my god, who gave me this black skin? White people can't handle me. I'm done for work. I'm gonna bleach my skin. I don't do that. I wake up in the morning. I was like, yo, I'm black. I'm black tomorrow. I'll be black. I was black yesterday. Let's go. Okay.
Exactly.
So like, I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, why I was black. I don't care.
No, but
I follow. I just
it's
go.
not- but
I
what
just
I'm
go-
getting at is my brother. I'm not talking
if-
about.
if-
I'm
if
not talking
I
about the
go-
skin tone. I'm
I
talking
go.
about the
I go where I
mentality.
go where I'm accepted.
Yeah.
If it's the same thing as mentality.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that means we can stop it.
No, like come here. What?
We
But
can
you
stop
can't
it.
stop being black. The mentality
But
is
you can stop
completely-
the mentality.
But the that's what I'm saying. But we're
Yes,
talking
you
about
can stop every-
yeah, but we're
everything that's
talking about
ignorant, you can
we're
stop
talking
it.
about mentality. We're talking about okay.
But I'm gonna tell you the solution.
We're talking about the
I'm
structure.
gonna tell you the solution. The solution is the empowerment of the black man. That's just it. As soon when we're gonna be respected, when we're gonna be feared, that's when people are gonna be like, okay, then I don't need to call him a nigga. If you're a nigga and you do nigga shit, and people call
So
you a
you-
nigga,
so let
you
me-
just acting like a fucking nigga.
So let me ask you a question.
You can't.
So
you-
that's that
but-
part I can't agree with.
no,
So
no.
because
but,
like
no, all I'm just saying, I'm just like.
If you want to be feared and respected,
let me
I
ask
agree.
you a question.
You just
You
listen.
know-
Listen. The whole the thing that happened is like the lack of education,
Yeah.
just like you said, right? That's why these
But you-
people are going
but
on the
you
radio,
know- but you-
so you don't have to find them.
Yeah, let me like you know who Magic Johnson is, right?
What? I know Magic Man.
Okay. Do you think but do you think Magic Johnson is a how can I put it? A nigger in the sense of a poor man.
No.
Exactly. Magic acquire wealth.
But
Magic
if they
acquire
call him a nigga, you
But-
might 50% he might turn his head. Though.
But that's what I'm saying. They're
So-
like, but no. What I'm getting at is like they called him.
So
a
they
nigger.
must be calling him.
Donald Sterling. People
Yeah.
forget who Donald, the owner, the last owner of the Clippers called him a nigga. What happened to Donald Sterling?
He took his money and left.
He got fired. He got
took
kicked off.
his
But he
money
made,
and
but,
left.
but he made no. He didn't. But he made more money reselling the
What
team
kind
to
of
another
punishment
racist.
is that? Yeah.
It's not a punishment in a sense, but you know what?
The best
What
gift
I'm
ever.
what I'm getting at is simple. No matter whether you wear a coon suit, whether you wear track pants,
Okay.
whether you wear this, whether you're the richest mofo in the world, when they use a term at you, they use a term at
Not
you.
you.
Okay.
You understand? Like I mean, so what? Like so, self empowerment is based on what?
All I'm just saying is like if they're gonna use if somebody listen if somebody,
let me
if somebody
finish what
comes
I'm-
and insults you,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, he insults me. But not
But-
I'm
but
on
no,
chilling.
no,
I'm
but-
chilling
but
in
let-
the
but let
summer,
me finish well.
I'm listening to
Like
music
a-
blasting, nigga this, nigga this, nigga
if
that.
you don't know, if you,
the witches
let
come
me
to
ask
call
you,
me
let
nigga,
me,
I get mad.
let me ask you a question. Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, man, Christmas is great. I get gifts and shit.
Exactly. See that? See what you just did there?
Yeah.
And then you're saying somebody shouldn't use the term nigger. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't
Okay.
celebrate Thanksgiving. I
Okay.
don't celebrate none of that. Why is that? When you because I'm a historian, I look at all that shit.
Right.
I don't fucking play games because
Right.
at Christmas time they lie the most. That's the most time they lie, and then
Right.
they bring that over in the New Year's.
Right.
But then you know what I mean. You're like if
Facts.
you're celebrating a lie,
Right.
like I mean. And the person then is using the term like it's the same
Yeah,
factor.
then exactly.
So that's what I'm saying
Right.
with society. I've always been, you know, what I mean, an
That's
anarchist.
perfect.
These guys know
That's
how
a
I
great,
am.
That's a great topic.
You know what I mean?
That is a great topic because go ahead.
I just want to ask a question. What do you consider nigger behavior? Because you said because you said if you're listening to music that has the word nigger and someone comes and call you nigger, you can't be mad. I don't agree with that.
No. Obviously, I'm pushing it, right?
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
Pushing. I exaggerate.
Because there's
So-
some
But
things.
like, no,
So-
but the thing is for me, it's just like it's one of those things where like
So
if it's gonna be like accepted, because like if it's like listen.
Sound like Uncle Ruckus.
No.
no,
Let me tell
those-
you. Let me tell you this.
You read my mind.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you this.
all right.
Me, I'm like far from that.
Dang.
I'm like, listen.
did
I'm
sound
gonna
like-
tell you. There's nobody more blacker than me. Trust me. I see in people's eyes. I see everything. Right?
All right.
But like me, I don't. The thing is, you guys are maybe me and him. We're like, he probably gets more crazy looks. But like,
Because it's dreads.
yeah.
eh?
But like,
you know,
me, for me, I understand. I
Yeah.
understand where I am. I understand because like when I go back home, I'm nice. Everything is cool.
yeah.
And like when you go back home, then you're like, this
Oh,
is
man.
my home. But like
You
when
feel
you're here, then
different.
you're just like, it's normal.
What do you
It's
mean, Babylonia?
all-style. It's supposed to be like this.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
Not,
like,
but
all
not
I'm just
everybody
saying-
understand that now.
But like, it's listen.
No.
But there's a
No,
power in
listen.
that. There's a.
But
I just
not
want to say
everybody
there's a power.
understand the roots.
And this is something. I think I read it somewhere. I can't remember, it's one of the Nation of Islam books that I read, and I tapped into that so much. When you go into spaces and like white people are uncomfortable, like non-black people are uncomfortable, and they want to look at you some way, or they want to talk to you, or that's power. Like, they don't realize even the hate they give you is because they recognize your power.
Right.
God genetics.
It's because exactly, like, even your genetics don't lie. Like, if you mix with white, your genes overcome the white genes. Like,
it's a God genetics.
down to the physical realm, it shows you that you're more powerful than everyone else here. So it's like, that's one thing I think we should always try and give to the youths, the younger kids. It's like, don't let that shit.
The seed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
But
Don't let
If
that-
you don't
like,
plant the
all
seed, the
I'm
tree
just-
doesn't
all
grow.
I'm just saying, like, when
If
does-
your pops was your
when-
dad, your ass wouldn't be the way that you are.
but
Coco
like,
wouldn't be the way that
it's-
Coco
it
is.
really depends on the.
I-
It really
you
depends.
know,
You
a
see
lot
that
of us in
we
the
need to
neighborhood
give.
wouldn't be-
You need to give these words like not like these kids like the strength, the power, and how you get power. You have to be
So let me ask you-
educated.
let me
right?
ask-
Oh,
You have
yeah,
to be
all
educated.
that.
Educated is the base.
But let me ask you a
like-
question, though, Ronnie. On a side note,
yeah.
what if I drop a song called Trap, 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 Trap? Because I feel like I'm going to drop Trap, 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 Trap. Is that a hit, motherfuckers? Trap, 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 trap. I'm just trapping. just
Yeah, that's-
just
but like-
saying that
that's-
shit.
Like, it
yo,
depends. It depends. If you put on a nice beat,
yeah, there you
put on a nice beat, yo, it will sound good. I'm not gonna lie. I'll bump to it.
All right, then,
Yeah,
like,
I'm not-
thank
yeah.
you. Like, that's I just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of slide in and ask a question.
Yeah. But like all I'm just saying is just like I understand if
Yo,
there's power to
You
that.
got the Uncle
Okay,
Ruckus beard, though.
Okay, but then,
Actually-
but then, Floyd, how do you get mad then?
You get mad
Like,
when you
how-
don't
like-
you get mad when you don't know. I think the reason a lot of us get mad is because one, it's a general frustration or not. For example, it's like I understand why recently there's always been like black outrage over certain things, because you gotta understand this is the first time that we're actually seeing. Before we would hear about it, I remember growing up, you hear, your one relative living in the States, you're like, yo, they're shooting black people. You hear, but you didn't see it. But this is the first time that you're actually seeing it. I remember in 2016, in the span of 1 week, in like 4 days, we saw at least 3 black men got shot down. And you saw the videos, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, now I understand why people get mad
They're
for
cutting
every
the
little
grass
thing.
down.
It's like you can't keep stabbing someone and expect them not to like retaliate at some point.
They're cutting.
You know?
They've
So-
been cut, but that's what I'm saying. Do you guys know? And I said I was going to talk about this. Do you guys know the law 1850?
Yeah, I read about it today. Hold on though, but if you're saying that, all that is just because they
It's
recognize
part of-
you're genetically stronger.
No, that's not
saying-
all.
you're saying
I'm just saying
everything-
they recognize your power. You come from a long line. Like,
Yeah.
if you study history, you see what he said something today that's really true. He said, "My ancestors are in me." That is so true. If you like,
That's why I don't give a fuck.
you ever
That's why
study
people like to be
human,
like-
like
But
you're,
that's what I'm saying. That's the reaction that happens. You go, okay, well, I don't care then because that's just
No, but I'm saying as a whole in society, I care when they use certain things. But because I have to pass my knowledge off of self
But-
and seed, I have to pass that off to my son, which is born in Canada. See, back home, and to say what it is, back home, I wake up, I look amongst myself, I see different looking motherfuckers, but they're all West Indian, Central Americans. So they're okay, cool. Let's go about our business. Let's play this, that, yada, yada. We come abroad. We have our culture. We're deep within our culture. It's like, yo, you know that reggae is sin? Like, yeah. But people started like, reggae music is violent, this and that, all this shit, which is not. You know what I mean? They started trying to be negative in it. What I'm getting at is like, I understand here, just the same as you understand here, in the sense that this place defends itself because at the same time it doesn't want us to be comfortable.
Well, like, first
And
of
then
all, when you look at even the ground of this, this is full of blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're
But,
chilling
but
full
let
of
me
blood.
but
For
let me
you to
ask you.
be
The reason
crazy
why
to
is
think
like,
this is a peaceful place.
but people,
Nah.
but that's what I'm saying. It's a powder cake of shit that's covered. It's it's a cake covered
is
with,
not shit,
with
man.
glaze
This
and
is
over and over
skeletons
and shit and
bones
shit.
and shit.
Blood and shit.
So much.
blood.
Right? But that's why people come up to you and
cracked
they'll say,
skulls.
you look exotic. Where you from? Right? People don't understand that. You know what I mean? Why the fuck can't I be from down the block? This lady asked me, like, she's like, oh, so where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from the island called Duggan.
Yeah, like,
and that's on the south side. Hey, right?
When somebody comes and tells me where I'm from, I'm like, bro,
laughing.
I'm from here. Like, I've been here. Like, what do you mean? Where you from?
But
They're acting like
but-
you're not supposed to be
exactly.
here. You see? Because
This
it's always
is
like
what-
this.
This is
So-
what I'm saying.
But like,
Right?
you as a black person, you can't tell me here,
Like-
you can't tell me I'm Uncle Ruckus because I'm telling you that like you need to be strong as a black man. Stop using the word nigga to get more
No,
respect.
no, like, and I'm saying,
No,
that's
no,
it.
I
I'm
agree,
saying,
I agree,
I'm saying,
I agree.
How
I'm
is
saying
that?
you got a motherfucking Civil War beard going
Oh,
in right now.
yeah,
You know
man.
what I mean? That's what I'm
I just
saying.
need the fucking
Yo,
eyeball.
you're still one of the haters. I gotta hate, baby. You know what I mean? Like, don't get it wrong here. I mean, we might be talking some shit. I'm hating. You know what I mean? I'm over here hating on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because
all good, man.
that's what I do. I'm
No,
like,
like-
him.
I
Flowing
agree
in
with
his
you now
goddamn
that
dreads
I
and
agree with
shit
you
like
now
that.
that you said it.
Yeah.
Because at first when you started talking, I thought you were just being like, oh, it's their fault and their fault alone. Because sometimes some black people do that where it's like
It's
they just
easy to
act
point
like,
the finger.
they act like it's the fault of black people that
But-
racist exist. And it's like no,
but
like
but I get what you're
1850,
saying.
like,
I've also one thing. If you've been raised in a house where
Mm-hmm.
like somebody like use insults every day, like fuck this, fuck that, and
Mm-hmm.
your kid comes one day says fuck you, you can't get mad because you're the one who raised that kid with that mentality, right?
but that's the same thing as smokers.
But then you're gonna go. What are you gonna do? Either you let it go, or you beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or like if you go in a room and then you watch your parents always tell you, oh yeah, clean your room, but you go in the room, they never clean their room. Why would you clean your fucking room? You must be some type of
So if
crazy
you-
person,
but if
right?
you- but
so
if-
like that's what I'm just saying. If you're gonna
that's
show
called
the example
habits,
to the
though. Habits.
if you have the habits to hear nigga
Exactly.
words, then you're gonna be using nigga.
Yeah.
Let me tell you exactly what happens though.
Like
This is the 3 steps of or not 3 steps. This is the steps of the outrage. You get mad because they say black people are stupid. That's one level. You go, that's not true, and you're mad. And the next level is you go, I'm not stupid, so it doesn't bother me. And then the next level is, oh, but they think that anyway, so that's the reason I can't get a job because they think we're all stupid. And then you get a job and you go, okay, I don't care about this whole debate because I have a job. So fuck you. That's what happened. That's what happened.
No, that
Yeah,
that,
that's
Not really
it's
though.
not.
Not really though.
like no.
Everybody who understands
that-
then they start winning, and
that
then they just go.
that's
like, "Oh,
but
I don't
that's
actually care."
because that's what they try to feed you. That's not.
But what about
that's
him?
Never been.
No, but
That have never.
He
been
doesn't have a job. He doesn't work for nobody.
have
He
never
works for
been
himself.
The purpose of it. What's been going on again?
You guys asked
the law.
why, you guys
the law.
asked why Drake doesn't address black issues
Go ahead.
and why he did before he was successful. He used to, and now he doesn't.
I don't even
Did he-
think he
because he
did.
got-
I don't even think he
Did he?
did before he was
That
successful.
was his excuse for the whole blackface. stuff.
Where?
He said I was trying to bring attention to.
okay, so you tell me after
He's
being
trying to say-
famous for that long, seeing that many black people getting shot, so you're like, come on now,
But why?
we're stupid. It's fine. What do you mean? Like,
I'm
okay,
saying-
what do you mean? Why? I don't. For me, I don't know. You
Yo,
just want to
yo,
stay away.
Like I'm saying, it bothers him.
Enoch
when he
here-
can't- when he
Enoch
can't get
is
a job,
feeling burned,
when
you
he
know,
can't
like
get on, when he can't get acting
Drake
jobs,
Drake
then he's
Claus.
saying, oh,
Drake
look, yeah.
Claus. so-
Then he's saying black.
Honestly-
It's hard to be black.
honestly, Tesh,
And now when he's
Tesh-
rich, is it hard to be black?
Tesh,
Well, like
No,
now,
he
now,
thinks
it's, now it's hard because he can't get a job if he can't come up with a nice track. Now he has to explain how he cares about black people.
He
honestly,
might have-
Tesh,
you're laughing, but he might have to.
No,
no,
He
Tesh,
might have to go,
Tesh.
You know, I actually do
He
care.
probably is
Actually.
gonna go and name all his friends.
let me say, Tesh, let me say something about Drake.
I stop at the Jamaican
Like-
spot. Like
let,
this is gonna
let
be
me
the
say
French
some,
Jamaican
let me say
fucking
something
comeback.
about Drake. This is why I've studied Drake because I remember when Kendrick shifted. I mean,
Coonery.
if you listen exactly, I've been watching Drake.
These guys are.
Even-
I've been watching.
Even that statement he made, that statement is trash in my opinion. He didn't do that. Like that's just a way of being like, oh, I actually did this for a serious reason. Drake, everything. If you study Drake's history, everything he did before he became famous was so he could become. He was really desperate. Like he was one of those people that was like, I want to be famous. I want to be rich. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even him saying this is I study people's character and people's spirit. You can sense people's spirit. You get what I'm saying? Even him saying that, oh, I did this because that's just, even look at the reason he said because I couldn't get jobs.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a selfish fucking reason. He didn't say, oh, I did it because I saw young black men getting shot or young black women getting shot on the streets. He's like, I couldn't get jobs as a biracial
I'm
kid,
trying to
so I'm gonna go. Like it's like That's why nobody bought the fucking thing because it didn't make no
Let
sense.
me ask you a
But
question.
that's what I'm saying.
No, no.
because
Let me
people
ask you.
just care about
Let me
themselves
let me
first.
tune in on
That's
this.
human. That's human.
He,
nature, though, man.
no, he couldn't get a job while he was an actor
Actor.
in Degrassi.
Like he's
While his uncle and his dad was a platinum plus recording
Exactly.
artist, while his mom's family come from, like, but he couldn't get a job living in suburbia. Is that like I understand the struggle. Don't get me wrong.
But you guys are proving my point, which is-
I hear what he's saying. But due to that, that's why he gave that statement. I didn't
But
listen
he
to
had
the
a friend
statement, and I
from
don't care.
Sudan also.
Yeah, he threw the friend on. He's like, I didn't do this alone. I did it with my friend
I was
too.
like, yeah,
He's
he's
like-
pretty dark. You could have just chose him.
But no. Remember a couple weeks ago, like
Just take a
remember
picture of him.
a couple.
Where's
weeks
your
ago-
friend, Drake?
Remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the lady with the weave thing in Nova Scotia?
Yeah,
And
I
remember her excuse also.
He said my
Her
friend
excuse
told me.
said, my friend told me. My friend's from Jamaica. After she talked shit about Jamaica and the whole pothead shit in Canada, doesn't that seem familiar? Young Drake have a black friend, eh? I'm a meditate on that. How many white folks do y'all know that call out their one black friend and say, "Oh, I got a black friend, I'm not a racist"? Or my cousin's cousin over there is dating a black guy.
Well,
Yeah, but
every time
are
I meet certain white people, they always tell me how they know their cousin went to Kenya or something.
Yeah, and it always comes. It always comes. It always comes.
Well, what do you want me to do?
It always
I've
comes.
never been to Kenya.
Exactly. It always comes.
How is it?
And these statements always comes like right after they've said some racist shit or right before they're about to say some racist shit.
No.
You know, they'll be like, and then they'll.
I find it funny, and I'm not white people. I'm not roasting y'all. I'm just fucking cooning you all.
it's so
Like you
done,
mean,
man.
like it's going, baby. It's like it's still the live is still alive.
Oh, it's still live?
It goes until fucking 8 o'clock.
It's not online.
You
bro.
might have been fucking late.
It's not online.
Like you mean, you gotta just touch that thing. The live will be on my thing. Like
Oh.
yeah. So you know, what I mean, you can also like, go on the if you go on the photo of it, it shows where it is. You know what I mean? But I understand the process of it, but that's why. You
I'm
know what I
saying
mean?
people are more selfish than they use the cause for themselves, but they're actually
A
at the
lo-
end of the day more selfish.
A lot
than
of
it.
people,
You understand that?
are selfish. I hear what you're saying.
99%.
But that's why.
Not really,
like, I mean,
not really.
99%.
No, there's.
They're
you know who's
selfish
the not
depending
selfish
what's,
people? They're
what's
dead.
pushed.
They're
Whoa,
dead.
whoa, whoa! I'm not selfish.
Man, you are selfish.
Am I selfish?
Everybody's
Listen,
selfish.
I'm not selfish.
You cannot live this life
I
without
take
being
care.
selfish.
I take care of self, but I take care of minds at the same time. All my
Yeah,
people.
but at the
You
end
can-
of the
you can-
day,
At the end,
you have to
that's
take
the
care of
thing.
minds.
Exactly.
You
No.
say minds first.
Yeah, I
And
take
that's-
care of self and I take
and
care of
that's-
minds.
Let me
All
explain.
my-
Let me
all
explain
my
something.
self.
No, all my people are minds though.
There's a difference between
Like,
being selfish and being self-sufficient.
Self-serving,
Like-
self-serving.
Self-serving.
Yeah, so I feel like there's people that are balanced. For example, there's artists I've seen where it's like Drake is completely selfish. There's nothing he can say today where you have to be stupid to believe whatever he says. He has never cared. He doesn't give a fuck. That's
I
it.
don't even think he cares
But
about cash money.
if someone like Mos Def comes out, Mos Def,
He's a
Mos
sociopath.
Def would have been a bigger artist if he didn't have that integrity within him to be like, no, I cannot sell out.
Floyd,
There's
check
lo-
my Facebook Live for me, please.
There's lots of artists. There's lots of artists that like, you know, they had the. Oh, it's not even.
It tuned out.
It turned out, yeah. There's lots of artists that they had the. Like Nas, for example, when Nas defeated Jay-Z back in whenever 03 or whenever that happened.
2001, motherfucker.
01?
2001.
When
Like,
he did
God
that, if you
damn it.
listen to Steve Stout talk about it, Nas could have been bigger. Like everybody knows that Jay-Z is sort of like the bigger artist now.
Keep
and
it
the
plugging.
richer-
Keep it plugging. Down here. Oh,
Jay-Z is sort of the bigger artist and he's the richer one or whatever. You know, Nas had the opportunity to be that way, but he couldn't sell out. He couldn't. He just couldn't.
Some people are just soldiers to the cause.
Exactly. So it's like.
Like
I don't-
you mean?
I
Just
don't
like
think-
I came from the people who take the bullet.
Yeah,
Either
what
you're
I'm-
gonna
that's
be
what
the
I'm
guy
saying.
that takes the bullet or you don't.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
But that's what I'm saying. But I also, but the guys that take the bullet are myself.
But you're the one fighting for the word. Are you fighting
I'm
for
not
the
fighting
word?
for the word.
Are you
I'm
going
fighting
against
for the
me?
word. I'm fighting for us to recognize what the word is, and for people not to be stupid and think that they're living in fucking la la land. That's what I'm on. I'm on that process of things. I'm on the understanding that knowing that people, like, I don't like people in a sense of being taught like fooled. Since the 1930s, the educational system globally have been fucking kidnapped and taken control of. You know what I mean? And you know the funny thing is, and again, this is from the youths, right? My little partner, you know what I mean, like young Jordan, like and my boy, like because I got a flock of youngsters coming up. You know what I'm saying? And basically, we're talking there. Like this was in February, and they're like, "How come they don't teach anything in February, Black History Month? They don't teach Black History in school?" And I start laughing at them because it's a complicated situation. Because like Egyptian education is Black history to a degree, but they try to find ways to milk it and fucking rearrange it and continue to rearrange it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but also at the same time, you'll have one or two like, you know what I mean? I remember my ex-girlfriend or professor. He was like this white guy, but like he was like honest in the sense that he taught like Black history at a university. Yeah. So he was honest with what it is. But you have one and two people that really do that. And I'm like, yeah, like, and I was telling the kids, I'm like, it's best that they don't teach you because if they teach you something they don't know, it's only going to destroy you even more. You understand what I mean? Right. Now it instilled the reason why Lauryn Hill dropped the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand the wordplay of it, but it's because this is something that's been taking place within society for quite some time. Right. And that's where I'm going back from. Like, again, the generations that came later on, why you think they do a lot of silly things? Because when money's thrown at you, when say you're hungry, right, and you're like, fuck, I need something to eat, but I'm broke as shit. Mm-hmm. And then like, that's the game. Mean, one of the homies,
I do understand that.
One of the homies danced by and said, "Hey,
I do understand that.
Here's $5."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
But that's what I said, right? I was like, you get the young part, and then there comes a part where you're wiser, right?
But
that's
every generation.
So like that's when you're supposed to come and help. But that's not really been happening in hip hop.
Yes. Now it's no, but people always also.
And I'll tell you why. Though.
But people always also
they have to keep the thing going
because it pays more not to be.
Exactly.
That's why.
Right.
It pays more to be.
But it doesn't. It pays less to be like in the long run. It pays more up front, but it pays less to be like, I mean, you know, because when you and the funny part about it, that's why I gotta respect certain players that play the game wise. Shout out to the players out there that's doing the play haters ball, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hate. You know what I'm saying? You know, but no, but I'm talking about the people. Like, I mean, like again, like Jay had an interview, and you know, what I mean, on a side note, and what Jay said, it was like simple. It's best when there's more of us coming through the gate properly than when we're not. When it's just only one person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Russell Simmons did it.
Keyword properly.
And
you need to have.
You know what I mean? And Russell Simmons did it, and look what happened.
Black excellence.
You know what I mean? Black is always, but black is always excellent.
No, we spew hate and stupidity. No, that's not excellent.
No, that's like that because you know what? Where like you don't get like they don't praise
but you need
the ones that's doing excellent things. They praise the ones that shooking and driving. It's always been that way.
What I'm saying is when those people who are doing
they can be,
and
you look at it. All right, let me break it down to you. And this is an argument I have with my son. Yeah. And you're a baller yourself, so you know this. Who's the greatest of all time? Is it? You know what I mean? Like it's a trick question. Is it Ali? I mean, is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James?
But who even said that those are not even my choices?
But that's what I'm saying. What is your choice? I
want to talk about it.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Do you mean by
who do you believe is the greatest of all time for basketball?
Does Anson watch this?
Yeah, Anson watch it. Anson be hating. Fuck Anson, son. But but who is?
Kobe.
Kobe?
Kobe's
Yo, why you whispering like Kobe is? No, don't pull a Drake here. You know what I mean? Like Kobe.
I think, to be honest, Michael. The reason why I say that because this guy, 6 rings, never let anybody make it to the 7th game. Like, come on.
All
like
right.
that right there, you just
me. Mine is gonna be different. Like
Who do you think? Just give me yours.
I'm
saying, remember, it's a trick question.
LeBron is great.
I'll say Reggie Miller.
Reggie
Let's
Miller?
not even
Yeah,
disrespect.
but that's my personal.
Yo, man.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah,
but-
well,
but
he's
Miller's
not.
better.
All right.
He's my favorite
No, no,
player.
and
What
this,
about you?
I'm gonna break it down to you. The greatest player of all time is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I've
right?
heard that
I
before.
think it's Will Chamberlain.
No,
'Cause
no,
he
and
dunked at
I'll
Kareem really hard.
Kareem have dominated every space, but the difference with Kareem is your youngsters don't understand. When Muhammad Ali called a meeting with Kareem and all the top players in the '60s,
Okay.
like the first thing that they said about them was what? Ali and his fucking bunch of ragamuffins. This is the purpose why America couldn't put a picture on the greatest basketball player of all time face. Imagine that. Kareem Abdul, a Muslim, a black Muslim, is the greatest basketball player of all time. Oh my God. Like the NBA is going in the shitter.
Right.
You understand? Don't get me wrong, because Jordan, and this is why I like Jordan. Jordan respect Kareem and called it out. Say Kareem is the best player of all time. And that's why I gave Jordan in the Millennium and Now time the props. Because he understood just the same thing as how Mike Tyson called out Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard and say, hey, these guys are the icon. You know what I mean? Although you know you're good, but these guys set the standard. What I'm getting at is, again, the process of the propaganda tale. You know what I mean? Just the same thing as, like, I always forget his name. You seen the movie The Race, right?
No.
The
Have you
race.
seen the Race? It's set, like, it's Jesse Owens. The Jesse Owens
I
story.
don't think I've seen it.
You all know who Jesse Owens is, though,
Oh yeah.
I
right?
haven't seen that.
I want you all to watch it because, like, in that movie, they did one thing, and this is what I'm saying that they still keep doing. This was the 30s. They say Jesse Owens, Hitler never met Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens, even went up there and told him, yeah, Hitler met me. Hitler signed a book for me. Hitler shook my hands. The person that didn't meet me was my own home country president,
Yeah.
Roosevelt. You understand? But they flipped the whole fucking thing. Be careful, of the situation that's at hand, because this is the game that they play. Now, what I'm getting at is, like, in the hip hop world, they have always been able to put mold. You know what I mean? And spring these molds and grow these molds into certain direction that they want people to follow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's always, like, again, the real will always outlive the fake.
Right.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Because even a woman with a fake booty, that booty may blow up if it hit it too hard. Pow, bitch! Flake lips may go. You know what I mean? Fake titties, they've been around for quite some time now. But, you know what I mean? But when you eat fake food, what happened? You die. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm an organic motherfucker. You know what I mean? The one thing that I've learned a long time ago, and this is what I say, I don't rely on money. I rely on people, and I rely on self-reliance. I rely on strength. I rely on my ancestors and you all ancestors, because I can grow my own fucking food. He who control grows his own
We
food.
come down to the same thing.
Like,
All you just said.
control
it just
of
comes
self.
Yeah.
And
Don't
and,
go on the regular
and,
saying nigga.
and in,
Don't-
no,
don't
but
just
but
say
but,
nigga.
but empowerment of, like, I mean, but you got to remember, if you're empowering yourself, that means you're decreasing somebody else's value.
Yeah, the enemy.
Exactly. And who's the enemy?
They know himself. You know.
That's
the
the
enemy.
whole. That's
We
the
all
whole
know the
point.
enemy.
You know what I mean? But the sisters and brothers and
Your
everybody
first
else
enemy
global.
is yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Not me, baby. I love myself. I wake up in the morning,
That's what most people do.
you know what I mean, and I hug myself. I give myself a high five, and I say, "Well, this is a due day. It's a new day." And then I go outside and check my
Once
flocks.
you master yourself, you can.
But you
master
know
your
who I
enemy.
hate the most? I'm not gonna lie. There's a fucking rabbit living in my backyard. I hate that nigga. I hate that rabbit. Like that
Coming
rabbit.
back
in
to
the,
it.
like, yeah.
So you're individualist then.
What do you mean?
Just that's it. Just take
Like-
care of yourself then.
You need to take
live
care
properly.
of yourself first, right?
And
Just-
then
And then
And then-
the community.
And then you spread the
community,
spread the
exactly.
knowledge.
how?
The community.
Yo, you spread the knowledge. There's a lot of things. Just like right now,
Well,
we're
thank
talking
you.
on the mic. You can go to like
See? See?
boys and club you
No,
know,
but
boys
the-
and girls club.
But the difference with Tashi, like, you mean, like, and not curious, he got to stay cool and quiet because at the same time he doesn't want to get himself in any trouble. I'm gonna tell you that. Next time I see you, man, I'm gonna rat you out. I'm gonna rat your ass out.
All I'm just
Okay?
saying is just like you can spread the knowledge.
Understandable.
You-
Knowledge
you
is
don't-
always
I mean,
power.
you can just go on. Matter of fact, you can go on Instagram and read a whole book, and people will still listen. Oh man, yo, you read a book. I mean, some people be like, some people be hating, but then there's people actually being there, like actually like listening to you
Reading
like,
a book.
reading a book.
That's true.
And matter of fact, that person might even take and go and buy that book.
That's true.
You know,
I
but
read
if
a lot.
you just stay at home, you don't do anything, and you're like, oh, fuck
Yeah,
this world.
but
But like,
that-
you know what I mean?
But that's
Like, you're not
called
spreading anything.
that's called feeding the soul.
Well, exactly.
Like I mean, who knows who Phyllis Weasel was? There's a lot of like Phyllis. Like I mean, she was one of the first one that they pranced around. You know what I mean? Like I mean, like you look at like a Marcus Garvey for instance, and on his fleet that he like her name was painted on it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things to it that like I mean like, and it goes back to the educational piece.
Right.
She was one of the first articulated black artists in North America. You know what I'm saying? And they prance around. They say, "Hey, she couldn't do this. She's black. Her brain is inferior. How dare it?" You mean? But it's nothing new.
What one of the things I think
Right?
as the black community that we should, and all over the world, because we're global now.
We've always been global.
One thing that we should
damn it.
do is we should start tapping into our history. Like we have such a vast and like our ancestors have done so many dope things they've created. Do you know that the whole concept of postmodernism, like all the art you see in North America and Europe today,
Was taken from Africa.
from Africa in the
Lot of
80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, what we were creating back then, that's what these niggas are using now and like claiming to be like some like paragon of artistic
All I'm just
virtue.
saying,
You get what I'm saying?
All I'm just saying, like, this
But-
whole thing started. It's been like this since the 1400s.
True.
So it's like
If
the
we
attack has started since the 1400s.
Before the 14.
no, but if we tap
When
if
they
we tap
actually-
into
they
our
actually came into Africa.
before.
we had
Before,
contact
the
we had
the
contact with
Portuguese-
them.
The Portuguese were
Always come
The
first.
Portuguese was there prior. Like meaning like when the Portuguese like
I'm talking about when they signed the
yeah,
preachers.
but when the Portuguese took
I'm talking
the
about
black
Central Africa.
Jews. I'm talking about Central Africa. I'm talking about West
Right.
Africa. I'm talking about East Africa. When they took the black Jews, the children, over 200,000 kids, and put them on the Santam. That was before that. That's when because they already stole the Upper Island already. Like the game was being played then, but then they started sending in the fucking preachers to come in and start fucking stealing land for faith and people. And that's what I'm saying. We start losing our value of our faith because when I say voodoo, what does people think?
They think
Because-
bad things.
because
I
of,
don't know why.
because of,
Exactly.
but
Not
like-
the album,
But
the
the thing is,
actual voodoo.
the thing is, also the thing is, like, there's a lot of people that like to talk about black Jews, right?
Yeah.
But like, what they don't know the history of the whole history of black Jews. It's like the reason why they say the black people are black Jews is because like they were starting like worshiping like statues and everything, right? Instead of worshiping God. So when you talk about voodoo, it might be those statues that God forbidden the Jews to use.
No.
How do you know? Because what
Because-
are they to
What
do
God
then?
though? What God?
because-
Like
What then? Who called you guys Jews?
no, but I'm saying
When they say those Jews,
No.
it must have been
Like, it's called-
the history
it's-
of God.
It's called no.
God and His people.
Because
True,
Judas,
true.
like
so
Judas,
like
like
why
Judaism,
the Jews are
No,
are,
let me break
are
it
in,
down to you.
let's say,
Judas,
why we are in,
Judaism, for instance,
Why are we in prison? Why are we in prison right now?
in bondage.
because
In bondage. Why? What did we do that made the Jews in bondage? Tell me,
Okay.
give me the reason. Because it's
You're-
good to say
no, but
Jews,
you're
then why are we in
not
bondage?
understanding what the process of it. What I'm getting, let me break
Well,
it
give
down.
us at least the
Let me
reason
break
why we're
the process
Jews
of the
and us to be slaves.
Jews. There's no such thing but a religion that's Judaism.
No, I'm talking about
Hebrews,
Israelites. Yeah.
Hebrews they're like the process of the Israelites.
Yeah.
The Israelite flocked again from Canaanite and all the way through. Canaanite is now what is called Lebanon, and
Okay.
all of like where Israel is, and all where friggin' Palestine and all that is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna send you a book with the bloodline and the blood history of this. You know what I mean? Al Ibrahim from this man's country was one of the first Christian in Africa, Ethiopia. Abraham was also the king of the Arabia.
Yeah, what? But
Right?
what, okay,
when they
but
were
what
moving,
if-
I'm
what
giving
if-
you history right now,
but
bro.
let me
like
give you- let me give you
even the
one
great
point.
warrior,
Let me give you-
even the great warrior himself,
Yeah.
like a friggin' like not fucking Hannibal,
Yeah.
was also Hebrew.
Okay.
That is why Spain was taken and Portugal was taken.
Okay.
Right? So you gotta understand, like voodoo itself, the origination of voodoo came from the Saigon, which is like by you all, meaning like Nigeria, Ghana. Ghana itself, till this day, and there's still historical pattern of it, was the last biggest Jewish kingdom. White Jew scholar in the 30s went and they still spoke with them. Because we see, brother, we're built on 3 levels. Hebrew as a black man, that's us.
Okay.
Right? Religion, the Muslims that became like the brothers and sisters that are Muslim folks, that's a part of the religion structure.
But what if
but
I
it's
tell you?
Hebrew practice.
What if I tell you?
Christianity
What,
practice.
what if I tell you Jerusalem? It's actually in North America.
Jerusalem, like Jerusalem and
Can you imagine
like,
they will actually fit all those black people in Israel?
You where?
In it, because that's where all the Jews are supposed to go back, right?
People multiply, brother.
But that's what I'm
People
saying.
but
So
because
if
that's
you know that,
but that's
this,
but
you know,
that's
that's
what I'm
like
saying.
that's God's plan.
Well, people
God's
multiply.
not gonna
Like,
put you in a small place.
No, God put you in like a. I
But
get
like,
where you're going
the
at.
thing is,
but
the thing is, I think you don't. I think you just don't know the history of the Jews Israelites.
I just
because you don't know the reason.
I just explained it to you.
Why-
You're saying
why
basically
we in
why are they
bondage? Why we in bondage?
why are they in bondage? Why are they like
Yeah, but-
they didn't get up and go in bondage? Do you know
Why?
do you know who like do you know Noah's
Right.
son?
No, I want to attack what you're saying.
The 12
Because I feel like
tribes
this
of
is
Israel.
something that Christians, white Christians, especially the colonial ones, use a lot.
They
tell
try to
you,
pull this-
they tell you you're suffering because of something you did. That's trash to me.
But, like,
I don't believe
dude,
that whole
listen,
thing.
But read the Bible and know.
But who
why.
wrote the Bible? It's
But
men.
then,
It's
okay,
men. It's
okay,
men
if
like
it's
you and I
man-made,
that
then
wrote
you
the
should not
Bible.
believe in the Israelite story.
I
That's
don't.
it.
I'm not
if
even.
it's man-made, then don't believe in that because the reason it's in the Bible.
But the Israelite story is genetically real. This is what I'm saying.
But then why are you in bondage? with God, though?
Outside
why
of
are you
what
in
it is.
bondage? Why are you in bondage?
How am I in bondage? Because
Why?
I'm in a system that was wrong.
Why are you in that system?
Why are they exist? Why is the
Yeah,
why
answer
is
that
the Asian
question.
is what it is?
Answer
Why
that
why is
question.
that? Like I'm
Answer
saying,
that
you can
question.
say why about everything.
because
I'm not
listen,
in bondage.
be-
I'm
because-
far
okay,
from in bondage. You want to
okay,
know why I'm
listen,
far from in
li-
bondage?
listen,
Why do I have
you
black
are-
skin?
you are
The
in-
God genetics.
Listen, you
Am
are.
I in
you are
bondage? You
are
break
in
it down.
bondage.
How am I in
Because
bondage?
like the whole
How am I in bondage?
conversation we started here is because of the N word. How we don't have power.
We were
right? Because of the
kidnapped.
system.
We were
Why
kidnapped
we
on
kidnapped?
we were kidnapped on basis of
I'm gonna
what?
tell you.
False
I'm gonna
labor.
tell you this. We were
kidnapped and brought to the Western.
We
Like
were-
no,
we
I shouldn't
were-
say we.
No, no.
Most black
They
folks
were-
is here. Some
you
of
know
the black
why they were
folks are here.
kidnapped?
Like yeah.
because
Go ahead.
of our own strength. We misused it. That's what God sent you in bondage. Until you repent, until you repented, you will not get out of here. And repent.
That's
and
backwards as
no,
fuck.
no, no.
And I'll tell you why.
And repentance.
So
Listen, let me
No,
finish.
go
Let
ahead,
me finish.
go ahead.
Repentance comes from education, knowledge, and being wise. That's the only way the African, like, or not, let's say African, but the black community that's like in bondage, that's the only way they're gonna get out of this situation.
Can I ask you a question? What type of God
So
allows
you're-
injustice
you're-
to happen?
So you're saying
What type of God allows injustice to
Hey
happen?
man,
I asked you- I asked you
there's a
what-
cougar
I asked
right
you
there,
what's crazy.
and if it is a cougar right there, and he sees
No,
you,
remember
my
what
man,
I asked earlier.
God's gonna come and eat.
Remember
I
what
don't
remember
believe
what I
in this
asked
whole
earlier.
God thing
But like,
because
if you
one.
don't believe in God, then don't believe in the Israelite story.
but who?
Because it's together, right?
No,
it's
but
not.
there's history.
No, it's
And
not.
then there's propaganda.
Exactly.
There's history.
How
There's
is it-
history.
okay, how
If
is
you
it
go,
okay, let me tell
there's
let me,
pro-
let
the
me
Bible
finish.
is propaganda.
Let me tell you, how is it propaganda? How is it what I'm saying propaganda when I'm telling you the solution to rise, and it's the same solution all the time.
See, because
It's the same solution
because
all the time.
The first thing,
I've been to Africa.
the first thing
I
you-
came back here. I've been
because
to
the
Europe.
first thing- the
It's
first
the
thing-
same
the first
solution
thing-
everywhere.
Because the first thing you said was what? Knowledge, education, or
Education.
knowledge, which is bullshit. Because a man can be wise. I didn't go to fucking college, and I guarantee ain't nobody smarter than me.
Yeah.
Because
But, like-
you sit back, you're given the gift
Hey,
of
okay,
wisdom.
you have gift,
and it's
okay.
about to use that gift. Maya also
that is great. But okay, you know what?
Let me answer
But you know what?
Let me
But
answer your
if-
question.
but if
Let
your
me answer
environment
your.
that
Let me
you're born
answer your
in-
question.
if your
though.
environment
Let me
that
answer your
you're born
question.
in-
Let me answer your question.
Oh, man.
Me being a mother, let me answer your question.
Yeah.
If my ancestors.
It's just like the rapper using
No,
the
no.
word nigga.
If my ancestors
comes down to the education.
If some of my ancestors never came on a slave ship while we were already here,
Okay.
how does that work?
What?
Like, I mean, if my black ancestor was already here in the Western Hemisphere and then
But
it didn't come on a slave
Tesh,
ship,
didn't I say Jerusalem is in North America?
Like,
that's not what I said?
you said Jerusalem as in a belief, but Jerusalem itself has always been where
Yeah.
Jerusalem is,
No.
where I've been digged up.
That's where
There have always been other findings.
that's where it's written.
There's always been other findings. Just the same thing as like
I'm
the
telling
mother
you-
continent itself is not the birthplace of life. Arabia is. But back then there was no line to it. This is coming from historical pattern. I will give you the bloodline book for you to learn and read it yourself.
Me, I'm gonna matter of
Like,
fact,
I
I
mean-
don't need to give you anything. You
No,
can just read the Bible.
I'll give you
The
that's
Bible.
what-
But who wrote the
that's what I'm
Bible,
saying.
though?
All I'm just
I've
saying,
read the Bible every time.
the Bible and the Tanakh, the first that is the Jew, the Tanakh, the Bible for the
Torah.
Jew,
Yeah.
the Torah,
The Torah,
the
yeah.
Torah, yeah.
But there's
Go,
two
go.
there's two
There's
Jewish
I think
books.
there's like the Tanakh or like
There's two Jewish
But
books.
but
that
what
was
you gotta
done.
understand is that
all I'm
people
just saying-
people wrote these things. People
Right.
changed the stories.
Right.
Like some of the stuff is like it's history mixed with proper. Like, do you believe that Noah had an ark and he put like all the animals in the world in that ark?
Bro.
Do you believe that nonsense?
Let me tell you.
Like, the Bible is filled with trash. Like, I won't even lie.
Let me tell you.
I
Let me-
can't knock the holy,
okay.
like the holy book of that piece.
Listen,
but
but you can't just say things because you don't know how it happened.
No.
It's not because you cannot explain that it's trash or that it's not because you never seen it. Like I can be like,
do you know
whatever
what
you say-
climate racism is?
Hold on.
Climate racism. You all know what climate racism is, right?
Climate racism?
Climate racism.
No.
Also, the process of a religious racism. Like, we're not just on Facebook alone. We're on Twitch.
I'm with
Me,
Tash.
I would.
you
I don't
gotta-
know. Me, I would never get into religion because I understand. As someone that grew up in like Africa and seeing the post-colonial and seeing what religion is, I would never get like that shit is responsible for like 90 fucking percent of like the destruction of that continent. And even it's so powerful that even black people in North America, a lot of our older people, older moms and dads, they're still brainwashed by that shit. I would never get into it. I just can't. Like, fuck the Bible, fuck what they say. I don't give a fuck.
No, like
Fuck your shit.
You know who Ham is, right? You don't know who Ham is?
Keep asking me, do I know people I don't know?
No. You know who Ham is?
In the Bible,
Yeah. Ham is one of Noah's sons.
Exactly. What do they call you?
They call us.
What do they call Floyd and what do they call him?
They call us we're sons of Ham, right? The dark one?
Hammonites.
Hammonites, yeah.
Exactly.
And then
But let me break that down to you.
Hammonite got cursed
Like
by his dad because he saw his dad naked.
But if Ham is a son of Noah, and Ham again was black as Ace, you understand?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what would
what
his
is
dad
Noah be? What
What
would Noah
his dad
be?
This black can only be black.
Exactly.
Right.
That alone is.
But they don't mention it. They don't mention it.
This
They'll-
was the first thing that Prince Harry used from Portugal
Okay.
before they started coming down and invading the mother continent,
All right.
because he got himself a writer. And a lot of people don't know. You know Othello, the play, and this is what I was getting back to. You know the play Othello by Shakespeare.
Right.
That was a racist play that was played in like 1497 in a small town in Spain. What I'm getting at is, like, when I speak, I know things because I research it prior, and I continue to research it prior. That is why Othello was set away of that. That was a part of the tool
But
that they used
my
to invade
my thing-
Africa.
my thing is,
like,
for you-
like I'm talking about.
But then we
the
should not.
Hebrews
Then you should
that
not talk
comes
about
in.
that then, because you don't even believe in the Bible.
What do you mean? I don't.
Yeah,
believe
but
in
the Bible is not.
You believe in the Bible?
I
Okay,
believe in the
no,
Bible,
I thought you- okay.
but I understand that certain thing that was written was stated a certain way. I also believe, I'm also a strong believer in the Quran.
Okay.
I also read the Hebrew biblical word. You know what I mean? But at the same time, again, in the 11th century, and I was telling Tash this about brothers and sisters sailing from Tanzania to deliver African elephant to China.
They have the records.
Nobody would say fucking that. Like that could never be that. This is what they try to give out. But you know what? The China Empire kept the records.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So people got to understand the logics behind this. When you also speak of upper and lower Africa, most people don't know what that is. When you hear Asia, what do you understand? What is Asia? If you guys don't, do you know what Asia is?
Like which countries are in Asia?
No. Do you know what
Like
Asia
the meaning
means?
of Asia?
Yeah.
No, what is it?
Landmass.
Okay.
Asia also the Asiatic black man. I hope you all understand what that means. The Asiatic black man is the man that walked across the ice pitch. You understand? To meet the blacks that was already in America that sailed across. But what I'm getting at is most people don't understand the logical of it because they don't break it down.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the things that, again, if we go back to the biblical
Lack of
pieces.
knowledge, lack of education.
Exactly, but the biblical pieces. When you say education itself is a rough term that's made by the European.
But that's what. But I just
Lack
I just,
of understanding.
I just not.
That's
well,
where
like,
it is, the
Well,
understanding.
knowledge comes from understanding.
Exactly,
Right?
but knowledge is all things.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Education and then
Okay.
knowledge.
Knowledge
you-
is
Yeah.
not education as in like the education too, but
No,
knowledge
I'm
is
not
all
saying
things.
you can even say any type of education. You can go to
Exactly.
school. That's still education.
Nah,
Even if you go to school, it's not like school over there. Like, let's say if you did not learn Black history,
No.
let's say in high school, but at least they give you the knowledge, the resource, the tactic, the strategy to find that information when you grow up on your own time. That's what education is made for. So it gives you tools to go get
Education-
to get what you're supposed to
But
get.
education
Don't
itself is not
blame
made
don't
for
blame
that, though.
don't blame the white man because
No,
he did
but
not teach you how to be black.
Education.
That's
is
not his job.
Education is a Polish thing. You know that, right?
Listen,
for the
Yeah,
Roman
but like-
army. That's what education
But it helped a lot of
You know what I
people.
mean?
No matter where it came from, it helped a lot of people.
Anybody that formulates in anything will help.
Yeah.
Like shit. I go to the store and get myself a condom and go fuck a bitch. Like that condom just help me to protect myself.
Yeah,
Anything if you formulate anything that you formulate in society.
Yeah.
No, I learned that just because I watch other things happen. Oh, that shit! That guy got a
They
clap.
teach
I don't
that-
want to catch a clap. I'm gonna get myself a condom. Or I watch TV and they have these commercials.
I've never seen people argue more who actually agree.
Yeah.
But
No,
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, yeah.
no, my like everything Ronnie is saying is right. My only thing is like the context in which he's saying it. It's like you
I'm a
cannot.
comedian, man.
No, I know, but I know, but like it's like you cannot. I've never agreed with the idea of like blaming somebody for their own suffering. It's like you can't just be like this whole thing. Like
No, but
a lot of people.
but you have to.
No, but
Bro,
this.
Yo, you want to know why?
Like,
I'll break it.
I understand
Especially-
what you mean.
especially when it's like-
I'll break.
me, like I'm also a basketball player.
Yeah.
And I was shorter than at one point I used to be taller than everybody. Then I was like I was shorter than everybody. I can't be coach. Get this guy off the court. I
No,
can't
no,
score.
no,
You know
but-
what I mean?
but what
I
I-
was like, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get a foul.
But-
I'm gonna shoot.
But
Like,
but
What
see,
I'm
though,
talking about-
It's simple and easy to say that.
it's not simple.
Like it's
Yeah,
easy,
easy
but
to
it's,
say, but,
it's
like,
easy
go
to say,
ask-
but
ask Tesh.
but
We
it's
fight
simple.
every day.
But like what I'm getting at is like it's like when you say your parents when they first come from the old country, right? I remember my mom. She told me straight up. She's like, "Fuck." When I first came here, they dumped me all the way north. Edmonton is a great place. She said, "Yo, the trees there, I was taller than these trees. This is how far north I was. I seen a black African fella driving a cab. She ran him down just to say hello. You understand what I mean? Coming to a different place where you know nothing, you see nothing, that traumatizes the mind. If you're not strong enough, it's like
Yeah.
this is what you gotta remember. Like a lot of the ancestors that came across, like without, you know what I mean. This is why like where people don't like the Ashanti warriors in Atlanta, they had them like when they took them off the ship. they walk right back into the ocean and drown themselves. That's
Yeah.
where Killmonger got that saying from, because they'd rather die than live as a fucking slave. What I'm getting at is like coming into a place that you don't understand and you don't see what it is, and it's never what it is. It's kind of like a lot of like in the from the 16th century on, they would tell blacks, "Oh, Africa is barbaric, this and that." That's why you see a lot of African Americans or African Canadians today are scared to go to Africa, because it becomes a part of the unconscious mind.
No, I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Africans are not scared to go back to Africa because they know it's crazy.
Yes,
they know that like it's
No, it's not.
no. These African kids know where they came from.
Like
They
you
just
do.
don't want to go back.
I'm talking about like it carries forward. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they just like
The
it. They
un-
just
the-
tell their kids, okay, you
the
see,
un-
we need to be
But-
honest with where Africa is.
Yeah.
Okay, Africa is not like this great place that everybody trying to make it seem.
Depends on the place.
No,
Depends
there's no
on the
depends.
place.
What place?
I think
Depends
you're
on the
right.
place.
No, man.
How many places? How many places in Africa have you been
Name me
to?
places. Name me places.
But I'm gonna tell
Kenya
you.
is a dope ass paradise.
I'm gonna tell you.
Ass Paris.
Do-
You know
Kenya
what's
is-
a dope ass Paris? Go to Switzerland, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now though. But
That's a dope ass Paris.
Niggas are killing themselves in
That's
Switzerland. I don't know what you.
No, you
That's
need to go and
nonsense.
fix Africa. Like,
Like,
if you there's like places like it's not like the great. There's places.
I mean-
there's places where like there's like dirt. Like there's places where it's
Right,
nasty, it's
right,
dirty.
no, I'm
so we
taking
need
up
to
mad
clean
knowledge,
that.
like,
You know,
I mean, like,
we need to
Wait,
clean
wait.
that. We need to
Okay,
develop Africa.
let me explain
It's not a
something.
dope-ass
If
paradise.
wait
When
you say a place is not developed, like what?
I don't mean
in terms of
like, in terms of white people. No, I don't mean that.
So, like-
I mean like in terms of like just the society. Let's say the society say it's cleaner. People go to school. There's no like there's no people like dying. There's no baby dying. You know, infantile mortality. There's no.
So how did that?
People don't
how,
die. People
how
don't.
did that occur though?
what places in that?
Don't. Okay.
How did these things happen?
What? Okay. I don't
Did
know.
they start overnight? Was the Switzerland man just in Switzerland?
No,
like,
no. I'm not saying. Okay,
Oh,
exactly right. Because they were not. You know what white people did? They left their place. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the jungle. I'm gonna go to the jungle with 2 sticks. These are just human beings. We're not superpower. We're not different than those white people that went there. They went over there. They did all the dirty work, and then they fucking came back. They killed. They did everything. But they worked and they did their shit. But now, as us Africans, they say we have the most graduate. They say Nigeria has the most graduate. But why are they in the States? Do the dirty work, go back home and work. That's all I'm saying.
So so you don't like. I guess you don't understand. Like you know what Thomas Jefferson did, right?
What did he do?
When Haiti got its freedom.
It's a war, like I said. You can't tell me, oh,
Exactly.
they got smoked. Well, yeah.
Hey, no.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not talking about smoke.
Yeah, they canceled the trading.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
I know
talking
that.
about the games that now start playing.
It's
to
a
the modern
war,
continent.
like I said at the beginning.
Exactly. So now, as what I was saying before, I say
These
okay.
Africans that get educated here need to go back
but
home
Africa,
because it's a war
exactly.
here.
But is the
And make it better over
but
there.
is the African folks there? Like the one of the great thing that I find on the mother continent there, was basically South Africa, and I big them up when they say "fuck you," we're taking back our land.
Right.
Now we're prepared for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when fucking Zimbabwe did it, look what happened. Zimbabwe did that shit from the 1977.
Yeah. And
When
then
once he came to
inflation
power,
went crazy.
and who created inflation?
Who created it?
Obviously, the IMF, the World Bank.
Well, yeah.
It was systematic. But
Well, yeah.
but this is what I'm saying. So now they're like, this is like, so it's easier to say, well, we can clean up Africa without the proper structure.
It's not.
But that's
Exactly.
exactly
It's not
what
a-
I'm talking about.
But
That's why it's not a dope
creating
ass
the own.
paradise.
Like,
That's why it's not a dope ass paradise.
It's a paradise in the sense that your people are there. That's what paradise
Yeah.
is. Paradise is not like,
No.
hey guys,
No.
let's fly.
We have
That's
clean
exactly
streets.
What I meant like nice. Like it's
Like, let's go outside and fly.
Okay,
like
let
Superman?
me even
because
say
that's
something. You
not
said
paradise.
you
Like
Switzerland don't do that.
mentioned Switzerland. Do you know that those countries you're mentioning, you're talking about them being paradise? Do you know that people the highest depression rates are in those countries?
Okay,
The highest suicide rates are in those. How is it a parasite if they're killing themselves?
Listen, like I said, I exaggerate things. When I mean paradise, I mean where white people live. Everything is clean. Everything is nice. That's
But
what the fuck I meant.
everything
But,
being
like,
clean is not doesn't mean it's
okay,
paradise.
Okay, but like all I'm just trying to say is just
Hello?
like having like less mortality, like our own problems. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
Fix
but-
that. But
true,
that's,
true.
That's exactly what I mean.
True.
So like all these educated Africans
Yeah,
that
just
are
give me
here,
a little
they just go
super
back
quick,
home
But-
and fix that. That's all I'm just
Some
saying.
of some of them, but there's a reason
You
why
what?
some of them wouldn't want to go back.
Why?
Because
Yeah, I'll get it.
because
I'll
of
get
the because
Yeah,
there's
I'll get it.
Because what?
because the leaders back there, like the structure back there,
But I think he's trying to say so it's not paradise.
it's not. Of course, it's not paradise,
First,
but
it's
it's
not
paradise in
paradise.
some context.
Second, it
Paradise
comes.
is our home. Anywhere you
As
are,
anywhere-
this is paradise to
but
me.
like- but
Talking
like-
to you, fucking nigga, like
No.
brothers. That's
But yeah.
paradise to me.
Okay, listen.
I was.
Okay,
I had to come.
let me tell you this. He's talking about the structure back home.
Yeah.
Buddy, like I said, when the white men came to grab all those slaves, they had to struggle, right? They had to struggle.
Who did?
So
Are you?
so all I'm just saying, all I,
You're describing the struggle of the slave traders. Right?
no, all I'm just saying,
I get what he's saying. I get what he's
all
saying.
I'm just saying, like
It's hard.
they had to struggle. They went over there in Africa. They
That-
fucking with the dirt and everything. They built their. if
That's
you go-
not- no,
Let
they
me
didn't.
tell you, yo,
They
no,
didn't have to struggle.
like, let me tell you,
Like-
if they came with their plan and their strategy,
I'm
and they
telling
made
you.
it happen.
I'm telling you that
That's what
I'm
happened,
I'm
right?
telling you from the trade routes because you know what? You know
They
the,
had-
the
they had-
Moorish war against Sangha. Have you ever
All
heard
those
of that
wars,
war?
there's no more Moorish, bro.
There's
White
still
people rule
Moorish-
the world.
I'm
Listen,
saying-
they won.
No, well,
let
no,
me
they
finish.
didn't.
Let me finish my thing.
All right, go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
let me finish.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
struggle that they made, it's whatever they did, whatever. That's good for them. But now it's our turn to make that same sacrifice, or to make a better sacrifice. Now that we have the education and infrastructure, we can make Africa actually Wakanda. You know what I mean? So it's that's all I'm just saying. All I'm just saying, because like when you say Africa's like a dope paradise, I don't think it is, because I've been to Africa and I know Africa can be better than that. You
Of course it can
And
be
be
better
better than that, and that's not where it is. It's
no.
supposed to
They
be
say
better.
about-
So
they
that's
say
why
about Brazil.
that's why I'm just saying, like, it is a war, and people gotta understand that, and people gotta make sacrifices. That's all I'm saying.
We got to. Hey,
Okay,
they sent
true.
me a thing for the 27th. What day did you get?
August 8th, but I think I was talking to him. I don't know if we should do a different venue or earlier or what.
What's right? August 8th is good.
What do you guys think? Or should we do it earlier?
It's a warm time, man. August 8th is good.
But then we have a lot of time to shoot videos and stuff.
Yeah. August 8th is prime. You just gotta make sure, like, did you lock it with them
No,
already?
because I wanted to check with you guys.
Yeah, August 8th is fine. Lock it in because she sent me a thing now, and I haven't replied
Yo.
yet. Just like, yeah.
I'm leaving too.
Oh, just like you just heard him tell. See, black nigga following light skinned nigga. Like you
Okay,
people,
okay, I'm gonna stay.
you
I'm gonna
people
stay.
say, hey, like you hear
I'm
me?
gonna stay.
That's
I'm
what
gonna-
it
I'm
is.
gonna stay.
No, let it go,
No,
go,
no, no.
go.
He's
Yo.
I got shit to do anyway. Like you mean, okay?
my lawyer,
And we're already
Let's close up the
My lawyer said I
podcast.
can't- I
Let's
can't
close
say
up the
anything,
podcast
man.
before
I'm
you
done.
go.
Yo, I played
Let
it.
him close up
Every
the
question
podcast
from now, I
before
just
you
play the fifth.
No, please.
No, this man. No, Ronnie, you brought like some energy to this stuff, like, and everything you were saying. Like, honestly, this argument is like,
No,
I feel like we're all on the
it needs
same.
to be said.
Exactly, we're
Like,
all on the same
things
page.
need to say.
You're coming at it like,
Ladies and
harder,
gentlemen,
you have a different concept.
We're coming to this
People
week
black every day,
close.
man. I'm black
I
every
do
day.
too.
Exactly. We're coming to this week close, and basically, you know what I mean. Switzerland is not a paradise.
Yo,
I know people with money in Switzerland though. Like, I mean, like, they need to break off around there a little something to help with college funds. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Like, yeah.
Yo,
Yo, I'm sweating, man.
Like, I mean, like, it's just like, yo.
How are you?
Yo, but it's normal. Obviously, people need to be mad. That's the whole point. We have to
yeah,
be
but
mad.
honestly, okay, Ronnie,
We have to be mad.
everything you're saying is
Like,
I'm happy.
it's a real ass shit right
That's
here.
what it's supposed to
Yo,
be.
thank you
want
all
to be
for
like,
listening
oh my
to
God,
the
Africa's so nice.
okay?
I've been to the
No,
safari.
paradise is just, paradise is amongst your
Been to the
peoples.
safari?
Show love, not war.
She's gonna
Yeah, I
write an
mean,
essay about
ladies, you know what I say, babies. All the beautiful ladies globally. So the player haters ball is originally August 8th.
August
That
8th.
will be the Parlay Haters Ball. Stay tuned for all the information. We're gonna be hating all day. You got my man Uncle Ruckus Jr. here.
Yo, man.
Like I mean,
All
like
day, all day.
yo,
I'm here
yo,
to
this
feel
nigga
it.
got a goatee that look like he's from the 1700s. Like I mean, like,
Run
yo,
it down for all
you
this
know what I
smoke.
mean?
man.
You got
All this smoke,
you got Pretty Boy Flight over here.
All this smoke.
He's trying to give Toronto more L's. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, leave Nav alone. Leave Nav alone. You know what I mean? Like
all
yeah.
the smokes, man. You
Like
guys
you
come
mean
and
like
fight these drunk
free
people in the
smoke,
morning
free
for me.
smoke.
If you guys want that smoke, I got a bunch of drunk people to fight.
You're like,
No, I just want to close the argument with one thing. I feel like one thing I feel everyone here can agree on is that if we strengthen, especially for the
black folks.
one thing
globally.
one thing I've understood recently is that for those of us that have that are older now, the war, we have to be stronger and fight the war, like you
For
said.
them,
but
exactly.
but it's mostly for the kids. So
Exactly.
we have to let them know of their history. We have to let
Exactly.
them know about.
Feed them the seeds. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Give
And I
them
don't
the
care if your mommy is
Be
white.
good to yourself.
I don't care if your daddy is white.
Be good
I
to
don't
yourself for the kids.
because you can't go out in the world and say, "Hey, I'm half." Nigga, you don't look nothing like a Caucasian motherfucker.
At
There
the
you
end of
go.
the day,
You
don't
can
hate-
try to
don't be
fucking
a
act it
hater.
all day. I can't say, "Hey, my mommy's Chinese." Like I go to Chinatown, them niggas run me out of that
Don't
shit
hate, but
quickly.
don't let nobody
So I gotta like,
disrespect you. I
oh
ain't
my
gonna let
daddy.
nobody
Like I mean, I gotta be
don't let
careful
nobody-
with that shit. I'm a black man in this motherfucking universe, and I love my people, and I love my peoples. I love my peoples, and I love my peoples. I protect my peoples, and I fucking hate those demons that try to kill my peoples. And fucking like I want to, and basically, you know what it is? It's like he who know how to grow his own food can survive anywhere, baby. I ain't no bitch, no matter what it is. Viva Fidel. Rest in
We got to
peace.
bring the
And fuck
bring,
all these motherfuckers that
bring
be trying
back
to hate on
the
us.
there's this stuff
The
like
Nation of
the
Islam,
Asian
brother?
people do.
Like, yeah.
The schools, like, because they have their own schools on
Exactly.
the weekends. We gotta bring shit like that.
But like I mean, but
Oh,
there's
no,
a
we should just have breakdancing schools.
but
No
the,
problem.
but the Islamic
No,
no, he's talking shit.
Dance is also dance is
it's
important. Dance is
Exactly.
important. Dance, everything. We have so much culture.
what I
Like
no, get back to the school.
no.
Get back to the school.
No, dance is also important. Break dancing, teach them about their history. Go back to the roots. Like this man has so much knowledge. Like this, you know, like books are important. Like give these kids,
You know what I mean? Like,
so that when they go out there and
it's like-
someone calls them the N word, they can stand and be like, you know what? I know you're
what it
weak.
is exactly.
I know what it is.
But
you
the
know.
but the beauty about things is, and I ain't gonna lie, the beauty about life is Tash got to go to his woman because she gonna beat him with her panties. No disrespect, but all disrespect. You know what I mean? Like my man here, like I mean, like yeah,
I had to take a call.
like
too.
you mean, like the man here taking a call. We all take a call, nigga. Like we got places to be. Like you mean, like yeah. All I'm saying is like. As what my ancestor Marcus Garvey says, it's like we're the new black folks, and
not
this,
responding,
and I'm gonna
man.
say right now,
I'm a
we're
guy
the new
that
black
has a job.
folks.
Gotti,
Like,
respond
yeah.
on the air.
I'm not
You're like-
responding. What about what?
Why you gonna shit in Africa?
shit on the whole
The
continent.
whole
Okay,
continent,
let's
nigga. Like
finish
you
this.
you
Yeah.
can't go back, nigga. You
Let's
can't
finish
go
this.
back.
Oh no, I ain't going back.
Yeah. Oh,
I have a few things on my chest.
Like, he's
down,
he's
double
trying to hide out. He's trying to go to
Yeah,
Switzerland.
Invite her next week.
No.
Who's that? Like,
Yo,
Tess, show him.
I want to invite a female that's basically
this is-
that Ronnie is.
matter of fact, I live around here. I'll be back.
Like you know what I mean? Like I want to put it out there. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I'm gonna see her anyway. Oh, Berlin, yeah. What up, Berlin? Berlin's cool peoples, man. That's
Okay,
that.
well,
heck yeah.
I'm gonna answer to her. Like, what is it?
Face to
She
face,
said,
baby.
"How you gonna generalize and
Drop
shame the
sociology
entire
100
continent?"
on you, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
okay.
that's some real shit.
You said I'm not generalizing. Actually, yeah, I am. Let's finish
Yes, you
this.
are.
All I'm just saying, like, Africa is not, it's not where it's supposed to be.
Not
and,
yet.
And it has to do, with a bunch of things. Like, there's
Run out the Asians, run out all the whiteys.
There's wars, but like,
Proxy wars.
yeah,
God
but
damn
like,
it.
yeah, there's proxy wars, but at the same time, I'm just like, we just gotta be better. Okay.
I get that.
I'm not. I didn't come here to like praise Africa or like Africa's.
You're being proper.
All I'm just trying to be like, I'm just trying to be real. Like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When okay, you know why people get mad? People like her get mad because like they say, oh, that's the propaganda on TV, blah blah blah. That's why they're trying to show Africa is a bad place. No, there's
went
great
there last
places in
month,
Africa.
bro.
There's great places in Africa, but then there's
That's
like,
why you got your tan on. Eh? You were there last month.
No. But then there's some people in Africa. Listen, people in Africa, they cross the fucking ocean to leave that place. So you're gonna try and tell me this place is nice?
What do you mean they crossed the ocean to live that place?
Oh,
Nigga,
come
where
on,
like
man.
what? On slave ship? Is that what you're saying? What the fuck?
People from Algeria going to Italy. They cross the
That's different.
What do you mean that's different?
Because
it's still Africa.
because no, but what I'm getting
People-
no,
I'm just
I'm not.
saying,
I'm saying
Africa-
that's economical warfare, bro.
Exactly.
When
But
when
that's what
economics
I'm
is,
saying.
but as
But
soon
that's
as we
exactly
start
what I'm
standing
saying.
up in Europe
But
or in
that's
North America
exactly
or
what I'm
whatever,
saying.
we become the bad guy again.
Let me tell you.
Continue.
That's what I'm saying, right? There's people fleeing in like small,
But it's not just
small
yeah,
boats.
but not just from there alone. There's people from the Middle East, people from Asia,
People from Europe.
And why is
but
that?
A lot of
but
people from
but
Europe,
let's-
You
too.
forgot the people from
Listen,
Europe
we're
fled
talking-
in the
we're talking
40s
about
to
Africa.
Africa though.
I
You
don't
forgot
think-
that.
Listen,
Over
to
2
North
million
America,
people.
We're talking
too.
about Africa.
Over 2 million
We're talking
people
about-
flee from
we're not-
Europe
we're talking-
to Africa,
We're
Ronnie.
talking about
Ronnie,
Africa. What?
What you're saying, this goes back to what I said in the beginning. None of what you're saying is wrong. Everything you're saying is right.
yeah.
But here's the
Articulate
thing.
it, my
You,
friend.
I don't
No,
think
no,
I don't
no.
think I don't think you're looking at the entire history of what you're talking about. Because you saying it this way, you're making it seem like
We're going way over. I know.
the problem is from the Africans. There's a lot, like the colonialism is a big
No,
problem.
corruption also.
There's
We're-
but all these
we're
things
still
came.
here. We're winding down. We're winding down. But,
they can,
but
there's a
those
few
folks-
problems that you have in front of you. You can do and
All
blame
good.
this guy
We're-
and smell all this
No,
shit
I'm
the whole
not-
day.
I'm not even
or
saying
you be
blame.
like, hey, there's
All
shit
good.
here.
All
Let's
good.
fucking
I
get it
think
moved.
we'll be
Let's
done
kill it. Let's
shortly.
clean it up.
True.
And
But
that's what
I'll
I'm
text you
thinking.
before.
That's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from of the place
There
like,
you go. I
oh, they
will.
did this, they did this.
Okay,
Oh, look,
come on.
at least I have a nice. At least I live in a nice room. But like, yo, but look at that shit in front of you. That's all I'm talking about.
But you have a better. See, let me break it down to you.
Right.
And like me, for say, I've never been to the mother continent just yet, but you know what I mean. Where I'm from, and what I see is like when I go home, it diffuses me and I recharge no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
That is what paradise is. People think paradise is this fucking coin and bitches shaking their ass and, pardon my language, women shaking their ass and all that stuff.
Nah,
like, I mean,
nah,
I'm
nah,
trying
you
to be
get
better at
followers.
what it is.
Nah,
No,
you
no, I'm trying to be better.
Nigga this,
But
nigga that.
I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like,
No,
but
let him
but what
finish.
I'm,
Okay,
but
yeah,
what I'm
that's
getting, what I'm getting at is, you know what I mean? Like, not every location, because when you go home, for instance, can you get the traditional food?
Yeah, I do.
So let me ask you a question.
Garbage.
But let me ask you. But let me ask
You
you.
don't need a white man
Let
coming
me
and
ask you a
tell you to clean
question
your
though.
shit.
No, let me ask you a question. When you're eating and you're amongst your own, do you feel at peace?
Yes.
Yeah, you-
Yes.
Or do you feel like
Absolutely.
somebody's staring at you? Like the difference
No,
in
no,
North
no,
America is
listen.
like, nigga, you walk into
No,
a
no,
store, they'll be like,
There's a
Yeah.
there's another
yeah,
there's
like,
a
I mean, like,
there's a reason
when I
people-
go home, ain't nobody like
But
look
you-
at me like
but-
that.
There's a reason people talk about Africa
I don't
in
care
such a.
how
It's not even.
messy
They're not
my
talking
yard
about
is.
material things. They're talking about feeling at peace.
Exactly.
Feeling at
but-
peace.
Why you think
know
they
what I'm
should
saying?
go around to
But
Africa?
you know what? In Africa, there's no peace. There's no peace, man.
Because
There's
Ronnie,
no
I believe
peace.
the's no peace in you, my friend.
No.
You need a hug, Ronnie. You need a hug.
But
Cash,
true.
make sure he gets a
There's
hug.
no peace.
He
But
needs a
when-
fucking
when-
hug.
Who planted the discord there?
Like I told you.
He needs a hug.
Like I told you. You guys,
Switzerland?
when I tell you guys there's no peace, you guys tell me who did this. It doesn't
Switzerland?
matter who did it.
What?
Fix it.
How come
You
there's
need
no
to fix
peace?
it 'cause it's
But
front
but
of
there's
us.
Why
people
is
there's
no
people
peace?
on the there's
Why
people
is
on
no
the
peace?
Because
but there's
they wanna
people
rob us.
chill
They
chill.
they are robbing us. They don't
But
want
but
they
even
are robbing us
Exactly.
and they're creating
Ronnie
chaos for it.
Ronnie but
Exactly.
even Ronnie
rob us faster.
So-
Ronnie,
better.
Ronnie,
And-
but even you saying
okay.
fix it, you know there's people on the line every day
Okay,
fighting to stop in various countries. There's people
Right.
dying.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
That's-
so it's like
but that's what we should focus on. That's what I'm just trying to tell you guys. Let's
I
focus
gather,
on to
but
the wars,
it's how
to the-
but it's how it's coming. Like it's just the same thing as Belgium.
Ronnie's saying let's just not play the blame game. Let's just solve the issue.
Yeah,
Just-
but
then
we
you guys-
have to.
You guys are saying you
but
have to.
like-
but we
Hold on,
but we
hold on.
have to no, but we
No,
have
no,
we
no,
have
no,
to
no,
get.
but that's not
on my leg.
but that's not what I'm
Ronnie,
saying. But
no,
Ronnie,
but
If
Ronnie,
we don't know
let me
where the
explain.
disease come from, how do
You
you
have
cure
to
a disease?
exactly. You have to understand
you're
it.
saying.
But okay,
I'm
how
not.
do you cure disease? That's what I said.
Like, I mean,
I
how
said,
do you
all
cure the
educated-
disease?
Because the thing is, there is a lot of educated doctors here, black African doctors who just
I see.
They're not gonna go back. They're
No,
not gonna take
but
the boat
that's
and go
bullshit though.
back.
Because I see people like there's a documentary
lot
about
of them that
Somalia.
don't.
There's a documentary on Somalia, for instance, and Somalia, like there's people going back to Somalia, investing in
There's
Somalia,
more groups.
and basically
There's more white guys
building
that
business
do
and
go
all
to
that
Africa more than
because they
black
believe
doctors.
it's a trade, buddy.
But
Black
They
that's
believe
churches
it's a
go to
trade.
study.
That's
But
that's the
that's a
sad
different
part.
thing.
I'm
That's a
gonna go- you
but
know-
that
you know
chill,
what I mean? It's like-
No,
but that's a
it's
you
a-
you
like,
said. Let me
that's the
explain.
sad part.
But that's a
But
different thing.
that's
They're not
exactly
they're not
what I'm
going there.
saying.
No, Ronnie, chill. That's a different thing. They're not going there because they love black people. Some of them might, but they're going there for the experience. It's
Exactly.
like when you watch those documentaries
They
of
go
those
there for the
those
experience,
idiots
but they
that
know
are going
it's
to the
real.
Why do you
hood.
go? Why do you go to
it's
Europe?
not real.
No,
But
That's
it's
the
like honestly,
Berlin?
but it's like
They're going to teach.
they're going to watch animals in the zoo. That's
They're
what
gonna-
that's what
no,
it's
I'm
like
talking
to them.
about the girls at the UV. They go study. The one that study the
don't be
teaching
fooled.
program.
Don't be fooled with
People
that,
go
buddy.
study everywhere.
Don't be
Why
fooled
would a
with
black
that.
person want to go
Yeah,
back to
that's-
where he's from?
Yeah.
They want to go to other places to learn.
Don't
Like
be-
it's all
don't be-
about an
don't be
experience.
fooled.
All I'm just
Like-
saying,
like,
all
that
I'm
doesn't-
saying
that
is
doesn't
if I'm-
signify
if I'm gonna
anything.
get if I'm gonna get attacked online like this, then people should.
You're not being attacked.
No,
She's just speaking her truth.
exactly. She's speaking her truth,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking mine.
And that's fine.
All I'm just saying is just like Africans who are educated,
Yeah.
who are here. There's been
Have to get up and
Africans since,
exodus
since,
back
the
to Africa.
1950s, man. They've been here,
Let me just.
and they
say
have
that
generation, and they need to take those kids, go
It's
back
very-
and help
it's
them.
very
Again,
easy- it's very
people
easy
are
to-
scared to go back because propaganda. Do you like? Let me ask you a question, Ronnie. Do
No,
you?
it's
How many?
not propaganda. She's saying-
How many
she's
of your
not blaming
people?
the whole
How
Africa.
many? How many of your people dance around bonfire with bones through their nose and stick in their hand, want to cook a whitey?
Nobody, yo, I don't
Exactly.
I don't care
And
about
there's-
the propaganda.
no,
That's
but
not,
this-
that's not the propaganda.
it's a major
in black
tool.
people's head.
It is.
That's not.
It
no,
is.
it's not.
It is.
No, not the one.
It
not
is.
the one that came.
It
came
not
from
the
there.
not the ones that came over here and then came over here.
How long
Those
does
ones,
it- how long
those
do you
ones are
think it-
self-hating.
How long do you think
Like
it
I
takes
mean,
you to get
those
a degree
those
here?
ones are self-hating in a sense, but they see like things here is different. It's looser,
So you think
they're gonna follow.
somebody who's been here for 15 years
Like,
forget the reality?
what
of
do you
back home?
think? What do you think? Like, why do you think Cubans, for instance, when they come to America, they don't want to go back?
Why?
Due to the fact that again, it's looser. There's less rules. Solomon and Gomorrah always have less rules.
They don't wanna go
You
back.
believe in the Bible, you know what Solomon and Gomorrah is, right? Solomon and Gomorrah, where like
Sodom
the
and
reggae
Gomorrah.
song says.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
The one that God struck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why was it loose in every way possible? So you come here, you see what it is. You see, like, oh my God, it's so good. Like I talked, and it's not it's not African alone. I talked to my mom, and my mom told me straight up. She's like, look, I seen too much blood, and I'm like, what, nigga? I'm taking my kid back home with myself. I don't say nigga to my mom, obviously not. I said, yes, mom, I get where you're coming from. I hear what you mean, but too bad for you because my mom doesn't understand the logic. But then she said, well, you know, my health problem, all that cool. But my ass and like my grandma is like, yo, I'm in Florida. I'm packing to go home. Like my grandma don't want to be in North America. Home is where she needs to be, which is on the island.
I think.
You know what I mean? So people, it all depends on who they are because, again, I know a lot of African folks that go back, whether they're in Sudan, whether they're in North, whether they're Ethiopia, all that stuff. They go back. They invest what it is. But the basis of the game that's played is basically saying, hey, you know what? It's bad over here. Go over there, and then we're going to come over here.
Well, yeah.
That's what they always do. They try to pull that
yeah.
shit at us when we're there, and then all of a sudden, Sunwing. We'll take you to the magnificent Antigua Bay. all that shit.
What, gentrification?
Yeah.
Gentrify the whole continent.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit is crazy.
Gentrify
No,
the whole
but
continent.
on
So, like,
on
who-
that
who you
part,
gonna
you're
run
right.
into?
Like, it's true.
Who you gonna
On that
run into
part,
when they
you're
gentrify
like,
the whole
but
continent?
I'll tell you right now, Senegal stands up proudly.
Did you see how?
And
how-
Senegal is
did
that
you see
there's
how
no war.
Ghana- did you see how the state just stole Ghana's land? It was like, yo, we're gonna be here and that's it.
Like, what?
That's
But
it.
but
That's
what
all
have
they
they
said.
been given
Who did
to
that?
Ghana?
United States.
What have they been given to Ghana though?
What is
In
it?
return.
It could be $1 billion. It could be $5 billion. What is it gonna give them?
What are they? No, what have they
I don't
like?
know what they're
Why did
giving
why they steal from Ghana?
Probably oil.
No, I'm just saying. Like, why? Like, is it the army that's paying post up there?
Yeah, there's an army base.
Like, so they try to cut the army base because China is there.
Yeah.
Again,
It's
that's
a war.
that's
We're
the
just out
basic
here
piece.
talking about like niggas.
Exactly. No, we're talking about financial war. Like, I mean,
there's
because,
a
but
war
niggas
everywhere.
create everything, buddy.
I'll
Like,
tell
I
you
mean,
something though. Ronnie's approach is more conducive to solving problems. then the one where you blame
If it's
other people.
it's not. But it's.
and
But
don't
this is
look-
my
no, I'll
problem.
tell you
People
why.
say
I'll tell you
blame,
why.
but blame is not
Hey,
even
no,
what
no,
we're
let
doing.
him- let him
It's-
talk. He
no,
hasn't
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Because it's a hop, a skip, and a jump from just no
I'm gonna blame
responsibility.
your barber though right now, motherfucker.
What?
Your hairline is fucking up the part, so I'm gonna blame that nigga. They keep me like I don't know what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I'm hating on these two.
No, but
motherfuckers 'cause that's
you.
what I do.
Let me explain. Ronnie's approach is it sounds
It's
like, it sounds
animalistic.
conducive. It sounds like the conducive one and.
I'm gonna
but-
tell you right now.
wait,
But
Ronnie,
if you've
fucking war,
but if
guys.
you've been on the but if
guys
you
haven't
no
got that
chill.
You guys-
let me finish what I'm saying.
every day I
if
get
you've
up,
been
boy, I'm
if
at
you've been
war.
on the ground
that's the one
like
thing
this
I do.
is
Like,
what
I'm
Ronnie's
always
saying.
watching.
What Ronnie's saying
Let's sleep like this.
is theoretical at best.
Fucking
Like it's
hang
wishful
on.
thinking.
You know what I mean?
You're saying people it's wishful thinking. It's not like people packing up like you saying every African that's here going back to Africa
What?
Hey,
is going to solve
no,
the
no,
problem.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying his attitude towards it, which is like
Okay.
whatever,
But you
whatever,
gotta
whatever
remember,
the cause is. I'm gonna
one
fix
last
it.
thing I'm gonna say.
It's a better
You
attitude than.
you gotta remember,
than-
it was Africans
always-
like
always a
it was
cause
it
and
was
it's-
it
and
was
there's nothing I can do
Afro
about it.
Afro
No, but that's
Americans
not-
that
that's not
caused
where-
a lot of
That's
destruction
not-
in
I'm saying
Angola.
this one is closer.
I'm
But
gonna
that's-
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what happened with my country. Okay.
What country are you
So
from?
Congo,
Congo. Okay.
right in the center.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just
Leopold
gonna
got you guys.
explain to you like you know how the classes work,
Yeah.
right? So when the white people came, they left their
They
class.
start breaking down the
no,
class.
they they left their class, right? They're
Yeah.
just like
They start breaking
whatever middle class,
Exactly.
blah blah blah, right? You go up.
the propaganda
Yeah.
scale. Yeah.
So like you have the class, right? Mm-hmm. So now when the second war came, the whole middle class, so all the educated people, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, all that chunk left, and the only part that was left is the army and the poor people. So all these people, where they went? America. They came overseas. They came to study. So these are the brain of the country. The people, you know, the middle class hold the whole society. If you take the middle class here, we're done, right?
No,
Yes.
no.
That's the most people.
That's silly, and I'll
Oh
tell you
my
how.
God. Let me tell you.
And I'll tell you. Listen, I'll wait until you finish.
now you have like somebody who's in power who control the army and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he can whoever that's left, he can just either he buys you or he kills you, right? So like the country's left in ignorance. He can be like, oh, election, and he just says a bunch of propaganda. Then the whole everybody follows him because nobody's smart. But if I'm talking about all those people who study, who are educated, the parents were educated. If they go back, they find ways to go back. It's not gonna be easy, obviously, because there's somebody in power who's really strong. If you go back and you take the power that way, education wise, teaching the society, like you might not get in this war in the next 50 years. But just the fact that you try, let's say you build libraries, you learn people how to cultivate, just cultivate the ground, just the soil, you just teach them to do all that, just empower the people, educate the people. That's where you get the real solution. That's when I'm saying I'm calling those people to come there, because we have a certain knowledge.
But-
this
no,
is the
I'm
knowledge
going
of
to- I'm
somebody.
going to,
We have the
like,
knowledge of
answer.
the people who chills.
Yeah.
When you're chilling, everything is quiet. You
No,
you really
but
get to build something strong, right?
Okay.
But those people, they don't have that.
Let me-
They're hungry.
No, but
Life is not good. There's no education.
Let me break
But
it
now,
down to
let me
you.
finish. I'm just saying,
yeah.
all those people, I don't care. Even 20%, even 10% go back, you'll see differences. You see a big difference. Like 1,000, let's just say,
Yeah.
1,000 African Canadian lands in Kinshasa. That's a whole different city
Yeah.
in 10 years. Or
Well,
even in 20 years, right?
Yeah, because
it's a totally different city.
But that's what they're going to be investing certain currency.
But you know how many Congolese people outside the country?
Ronnie,
At least
can
9
I
million.
can I say
Probably-
Ronnie
the country will be 60.
Ronnie, can I say
But
something?
out, probably 10 million.
Ronnie, can I say something? I like your energy, but let me just explain
It's not
something.
energy, it's the truth.
No. It's the truth. Yeah, but let me say something, and also I'm addressing Tesh too.
Don't come
When
with excuses.
no, there's no excuses. No, let me finish something. When the side that me and Ovio are sort of talking about, when we're giving the reasons, and because you have to understand the problem. For example, Gaddafi. Most people in Libya did not even know what Gaddafi was doing for them. No, let me finish. They didn't even know what Gaddafi was doing for them when he was doing it. Most of them, I met a Libyan that told me he joined the revolution, And after everything happened, he, like, I asked him why. He was like, I don't know why. I just did it because everyone was doing it.
Because I'm
But
gonna
let
tell
me
you
let me
why.
let me
You
no,
want-
no, let me
want me to
finish.
tell you
No, no,
why?
no, no. That's not my question. My point is that
No, I want you to tell me.
you have to understand. Wait,
For
wait,
so long,
wait.
people always trying to take him down. So
Wait.
it doesn't even matter. Like, it's like one of those things where, like, oh, who did this? Man, it must be the people that were ruling the world.
Well-
that were ruling the country.
But let
Or
me
it's probably
finish.
Gaddafi.
Let me finish. Let me
Because they
finish.
think nobody think because the people doesn't know their life is good until like they're taken
They're
from
taken
them,
from
right?
them, exact-
So like they thought like they were gonna go better. They're gonna be better than that, but they didn't know that how much weight Gaddafi was actually holding. How much he was actually protecting them.
Let me finish though. When you have a problem and you don't, like, if you just go out, because you're aggressive with it, it's like, okay,
What-
you said wait,
what
chill,
is
chill, chill.
your
Let me
solution
finish.
then?
My solution is that you understand who you're dealing with. You say it's a war, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand who you're dealing with. You have to understand that even the leaders back home in Africa, there's a reason people don't want to go back. Like you said, your mom's like, I've seen
leave
too
it
much
like
blood.
that then.
No,
Let's
no, no,
leave
no,
it.
no, chill. I'm not saying like me mentioning these things is not. It's not a sign of defeat. I'm not saying we should. What I'm saying is that if you understand the tactics of the enemy, don't just ignore it and be like, we just gotta go and. You go there, you get shot, you get killed. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not saying okay.
But
well, like,
if
all
you
I'm just saying,
understand,
like,
you
all
understand
I'm
how
just saying,
they
okay.
how
I'm
they
not saying,
operate,
like,
then you
go-
can.
Obviously, when you go, you gotta have a strategy.
That's
You gotta
all.
be smart. Hopefully, all these books that you've been reading won't you won't get there and get shot.
But there's a but
Obviously,
chill.
You go, you
The
find
guy-
a strategy.
no,
if
chill.
if you need 5 people with guns with you every day, hey buddy, that's what's
But
gonna be for you.
but here's the thing: you going to school here is not going to help you figure, because like the guy from the Nation of Islam
don't
said
tell me-
the other
okay,
day,
you better
you're
give me a
being
solution
you're
then.
being educated by the oppressor. You think he's going to give you his? You think all the things you've learned and I've learned, this is from guerrilla what do you call it, guerrilla tactics, like guerrilla education. We learn it from the side. So it's like, if you think that because they went to school here they can go back and fix the problem,
Those books that
they
are
will get
that are-
destroyed. The
Listen,
minute they land on there,
you're
they will
going
get.
to a land. You're gonna fix problems. I guarantee you $100. That's all I have right now. But like, I guarantee you $100. Like, you're gonna go. You can go over there. You can learn. You can take like 10 kids. Just like they're just there. You
I mean,
can take
yeah.
10 kids and be like, yo, today, you guys, what we're gonna do? We're gonna read books
No, let-
for every Monday and Tuesday.
I want to break. I want to
you
break
fixing
something
that
down
little
to you.
problem is better than you
I
here
wa-
saying
I
like,
wanna-
"Oh, Africa looks
Yeah,
beautiful."
I want to.
No, I'm on your side.
I wanna
I'm
break
on your
something
side
down
with
to
that.
you, right?
I'm on your side.
I want to break something down to you in effect. You know the war, like 1971, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go. Guys.
With Gaddafi, right?
You gonna walk?
Like,
Peace out, guys.
yeah,
You
like
guys are gonna be here for another.
later, Tashi. But you know, in 1971 with Gaddafi, what they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they tried to bomb him in Tripoli, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't get him. And you know why they did that, right? Because Gaddafi was the only leader that was supporting the IRA to fight for their freedom.
Mm-hmm.
In return, once he gave up his weapon, because again, his nation was not in debt to anyone.
Okay.
Now, the reason why they decided one needed to get him is based on the fact, again, it's easier to have a face that was in office, Richard Obama and the folks, blackface, differently. But, you know what I mean, they came at him in that place. They see the spot that it was vulnerable. But you also got to remember two things. This is something that's been practiced continuously. This happened, again, in Iran, 1957. This happened, in Guatemala. It's nothing new. But now, as we said, what a lot of people don't understand is they didn't get the play that's taking place. They didn't understand, and now a lot of them are living way worse. The war is still hailing. People are fucking post up, fighting over a friggin' airport strip. How sad is that now?
What do you want me to do?
No, I don't want you to do anything. I'm just educating you on
I know
what
that.
it is.
I know
it's
that.
not about.
I know Gaddafi.
It's not more so about.
I know
Gaddafi's
Gaddafi's story.
I know,
Right?
I know the
But-
strikes. I know how it happened. I know why
Hey,
it happened.
but I'm saying,
I know
like,
how
like,
he wanted to change the currency of Africa. I know all that.
Like the currency, I'm not even touching on the currency. Of
yeah,
it. But
I know. He was trying to unify
But
Africa.
exactly. But what I'm getting at is like, again, people always forget the elephant in the room. The people that's there that's been manipulating and using the continent for quite some time.
Right.
Those are the people, and those are where I'm saying we gotta look at before
But-
anything else. If we don't look at them and look at that, because again,
Okay,
look,
then do
look,
something
look,
about that.
look what the whole purpose. Like at the end of the day, I can only do so much because, again, I'm here, but I'm doing what I can in the sense that once I get to the mother continent, obviously, then I know I'm ready to fucking do everything that I need to do.
Okay.
But at the same time, my first task as a man from like a descendant from the continent is to recognize that I am black before anything else.
Right.
I'm not Latino, although that's what they try to like fucking cut us up in different pockets and say you're this, you're that, you're that, and that's why I don't acknowledge that term.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's my first stand on things. So what I'm getting at is like, the solution is we gotta fucking plant the seeds and make sure that the seeds are watered right by educating them ourselves, and not based on a system to educate them that's already poisoned.
Okay.
Like the previous that they already did, because the enemy will never give your guns bullet.
Right.
You know
Why
what I
would they
mean?
do that?
So you gotta,
That's true.
like me again,
would they
we
do
gotta understand this structure,
But that's-
and we gotta
but-
learn and build something
But
strong.
that's where I came from. That's this whole argument. That's
Okay.
what I've been
But
saying.
most people see us talking and say, "Well, them Negroes are arguing." But again, we are not
We're-
arguing. We're,
not-
discussing.
Yeah, we're discussing.
It's great to debate.
right.
You know what I mean? And because that's what people got to understand. In our culture is based on debate.
Right.
You sit down, you know what I mean? And that's why the rules having, if there's 4 Negroes, it's a gang. You know what I mean? People don't know that. It's because of the conversation. Because knowledge is passed in such ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and that's the whole part. But also, I just wanted to see Tash and you and Floyd and take some of your weakness from a play haters ball. So I can get prepared to hate on you all continuously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might even gonna sign Baylin up to come and throw some hate. Because Baylin.
Oh yeah, man. I know for real, man. She came with the heat, man. You know when somebody just at home watching something, they're just like,
That's some real
oh no,
ass
that's
shit.
it, man.
That's some real ass shit.
Yeah,
Watch
man.
time. We'll wrap it up.
No, she's joining the conversation.
Just gotta be-
The same way we're having the conversation.
Yeah,
She's
I
she's
love that
joining.
she joined the conversation and
Maybe she's not even attacking you. She's just asking.
No, I know.
you know,
I don't think it was
She's
an
like
attack.
trying to understand your point of
To
view.
be
You know.
honest, I didn't really take it as an attack.
Oh, I know,
I
I know.
just like, for me, it's like, we're discussing.
Yeah. It's
where?
I like your energy. I just
where you?
You just don't agree with me.
no, I agree with you. Like it's not it's the things you're saying. I agree with you.
Right.
I just feel like
Is it
for
like,
any
I
change
could
to be
drop it?
made,
gotta
you have to
ask
understand
somebody
the
and then,
ways
yeah,
of the
I'll call you
enemy.
back
You
in a
can't
few
just
minutes,
go
okay?
and be like, you can't just be like, oh, we just have to do this. Like people have tried in the past. That's
Oh,
another
legit.
thing.
Like, yeah,
There's an
like, just
arrogance
text
in
me the
being like,
address,
oh,
and,
we just. You
like,
think
then
people
I
haven't
gotta
been
just
trying?
text back.
All I'm
You
just,
think people-
all I'm
like, people
saying,
have tried.
people have tried, but like, it's like,
Okay, Jim. Okay.
the first thing you have to do is put your foot forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when you're like, obviously the initial the initial thought is always, for me, it's like you just say, okay, I'm gonna do this, right? Then you figure out ways to do
Oh,
it.
okay,
right?
okay.
You know what
I see-
mean?
I see what you're
that's
saying.
That's the valiant way. You know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Then you need to figure out ways. Obviously, you can go over there and you don't plan right. You get to the airport, you get arrested. You know,
Stuff like that
yeah,
happens.
So you need to study. You need to study. That could be
Figure it.
that could be your first problem
First-
there.
exactly.
You know,
Mhm.
you
Study.
maybe you think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk on the phone. You know what I mean? You gotta understand that, like, you gotta know you might have to take different measures, like, you know, like for like to attack this problem. That's pretty much what I'm saying. But your main goal is
To solve the problem.
to solve
Solve
that
the problem,
You know what I mean? That's where I was coming from.
No, I know.
You
I
know,
know.
like, but
That's-
like, I understand people really get mad because, like,
The
I don't know.
concept-
I know.
Get mad, yeah,
It's a conception of the delivery, though.
right.
Right? Like, I mean, because people see certain things and first they're like, what is this nigga? But I understand what you're saying. You're coming from the rough, the hard side. Say, yo, we need to get this.
Well, like life
And
is
that I
hard.
respect.
Like,
Life is-
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, what do you want me to say? Like,
People
you know, like,
wants lollipop.
you can't get lollipops.
You can't exactly.
You can't get lollipops.
Niggas is getting
can't.
shot in the street. There's no lollipops
No
no more.
lollipops, man. You see, how far are we gonna get mad to we like, you know, to know that we don't need
No,
lollipops?
that's what it is. But let me like you mean, but we gotta wrap up right
Yeah,
now.
we gotta wrap
Yeah.
up.
It's my old
Wrap it
head's
up.
birthday.
Oh.
And again, thank you to
Happy
Ron.
birthday.
Like I mean, thank you to my main man Ronnie and all for coming through.
Yeah.
And thank
Thanks
you for
to
like
Ronnie.
for Pretty Boy Floyd, aka Nav Hater, aka
Yo,
wants to
Nav,
give-
I
he
don't
wants to
hate
give
you.
He wants to give the 6 another L.
Nah,
You
but I
know
don't
what I'm
hate
saying?
you. All
So,
love.
When
Just-
you guys think Drake will answer?
I call it
nah,
7. Drake
it's
will
over.
never answer.
He might even cancel that album. Just,
No. He's gonna release
Bro.
the album. 'Cause Nicki pushed her album back, so he's gonna release.
He's gonna release it,
You have
yeah.
to. Birdman need extra cash. Also.
Yeah, man. The M's counts different when Burns count.
When Bird
counts.
defend
Yeah.
the prize. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with that. Business is business for what they do. So basically, it's the same thing when all the other boys are OVO made there. He make his money back. So, blessings to everybody. You know what I mean? Peace to the east, peace to the west, peace to the north, peace to the south.
Shout outs to Reggie
Again,
Miller.
Again, you know what I mean? Like, if you're with us, like, we stand with you. But if you're against us, then go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? And jump off a building without no parachute.
Okay.
Head first. You know what I'm saying?
From the first floor.
Yeah, can be yeah, it's loving though, man. Like I love the fact, but a lot of people get upset. Don't be upset. We're speaking the truth. We're speaking the facts. We're speaking what we know, and we're speaking on how we can develop our own. You all already got your own, so we got to develop our own, and we got to strengthen ours. In that way, Malcolm said it before. You can't go to a man's table on your knees. Then you will never be respected. You're on your fucking knees.
That's the realest thing you said all day.
Like you mean like, hey, I'm real all over. that came out of Malcolm X's mouth. You know what I mean? And so I gotta give like my ancestor again props. You know what I'm saying? Because he carried the ramp, and we will do what we need to do. And again, you know what I mean? Maya Angelou says it. You know what I mean? We stand on a lot of shoulders. So blessing to all, and continue showing us love, peace. Bless. Anything goes, and anything goes. And I just want to say, go Washington. And go motherfucking. Actually, Golden State ain't my team either. But I want them to win.
Go Cavs.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking A, I want them. I'm a Durant man. God damn it. One more ring for Durant.
Nah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
you might. At this
Peace.
point.
Cavs is winning.
There can be grab that from me.
I'm out.
All right. You got to run, I know. All right, brother. It can be like, so August 8th. That's on actually Eddie's birthday, too.
August 8th, eh?
August 8th. If Tashi gets the goddamn thing. That bastard.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. A lot of people. Oh, wow. We got
This
11
was
There you go.
yo, mad jams on this one.
When Belen tune in,
Speak the truth, never stop. Hear the facts and hear the steps. Anything goes. That's right. Go or fall.
you don't know Belen?
Down, up or down, right around.
Really?
We still speak.
She runs that
Watch
that
that.
thing
said
that was
mama
one of
told
the
us
stories that
I'll
come up.
speak the
It's
facts
Blackton University,
from a young child.
Black Empowerment, all
Never
that
go
shit.
lie as a big man. Never gonna lie
Yeah, shit.
as a
You all know
grown
me.
man.
She good.
And never gonna run as a real man. Facts is, and facts must, and lie must go all day. Real shit, so ride with us. This is anything goes. Yeah, anything goes. Health, wealth, music, facts, life, shows, anything goes.
I told you it was gonna be legendary.
Very true. Legendary is a must.